Hello, dear. It is my esteemed pleasure to present to you with a splendid opportunity for luxurious riches with a net worth of $850 million USD. All you need to do is simply to listen to this beautiful podcast, and everything that you desire will be yours. In the event that you refuse, I have acquired private footage of you executing dirty activities upon your own person that I will share it with your entire contacts list unless you kindly transmit $17 billion USD to me in cryptocurrency. Many blessings and best wishes. Hello, dear.
Okay, and we're live. Hello, dear.
Hello, dear.
How are you doing,
Yes.
Charles?
I'm good.
Nice, dude. Couple earthquake survivors over here.
That's true, yeah. I'm glad you got to me when you did. I was buried under a pile of, I don't know.
Documents.
Yeah. Yeah. I wanted to just right as we start, because I mentioned, I was like, I might as well just wait to say it.
Yeah. You had
at the
something,
beginning.
yeah, but
and
I've been on the edge of my seat ever since you brought it up about 15 seconds ago. So,
well, it's just lighting sage, the dried sage, always reminds me of. Did you ever see that meme? Or it's I guess it's not necessarily a meme, but it's like a conspiracy video of how LeBron is like a satanic worshiper.
no, I haven't seen that.
It's like remember when he did the pregame stuff where he would
he would like chalk his hands and throw it up and stuff. Yeah.
Before he did the chalking of the hands, there was a part where he did some weird like hand motion that looks like a gang sign, and then he would like beat his chest, and then he would blow into each of his palms, and with each of the things he did, it was like dark magic, like chest release, signaling to Baphomet. It's just anytime lighting sage, lighting sage always just reminds me of that like ritualistic LeBron dark magic.
That's very funny. LeBron's career is doing pretty well, so maybe it's plausible. He probably would have won more NBA championships though if he was really in league with the devil.
I wonder, because I feel like
maybe he has different priorities.
That's what I mean. I feel like the devil might be like, basketball's one thing. There's so much more you can be doing.
Yeah, and it was all about doing the Space Jam sequel. He was like, I want to be in a movie with Rick and Morty and all the different Warner Brothers properties.
Yeah,
playing basketball against the Looney Tunes, and I feel bad joking about this, but Bronny James did have like a cardiac episode.
Yo,
so that's
true.
That could be the price he paid. Though Bronny's, alive
God willing,
well,
he's okay. I mean, he is okay. God bless. God,
yeah,
God,
absolutely. It is.
Thank you, God.
Yeah, no, for sure. Or thank you, Satan. I guess, yeah.
True.
Yeah,
yeah.
If that's all you get, it's like your son will have a mild cardiac episode that will be scary, but then he'll be fine.
Yeah, that's
and
true.
Will be in the NBA, then maybe that's a worthwhile price to pay to.
True.
Maybe it's just about having Instagram followers. That would be pretty funny if LeBron. That's all
if
he
just
wanted.
Just followers.
Like 600K.
Yo,
I actually don't know how many followers. He probably has way more than that. He's probably like in the millions.
Yeah, he's probably quite high, I would imagine. But yeah, you're right. It might be worth it.
Yeah.
He gets like music early.
Yeah.
He gets music earlier than most people. So isn't that a thing he does? He has a. I don't think I follow him on Instagram, but he.
You should. He's incredibly corny.
I know. I like when
he's like a famously corny Instagram poster.
Yeah, which you've shared with me before, and I appreciate. You're like on the front lines of LeBron's social media presence for me.
Oh, I wouldn't say. Oh, for you, sure. Yeah, definitely not on the front lines of it. There's some like all timers that I've found late, like. The one that I constantly use, which is him with his hand on his head, and he's like basking in like sunlight.
Yeah,
and it's like, I mean, it kind of looks like he's like getting like bukkake, and like, but he's not. He's just like, can't believe this is my life, smiling through it all. I think I was like 2 or 3 years late to that, but when I found it,
that's such a crazy post.
I was obsessed with it. Yeah, it's so funny.
I can't believe it is my life.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I think I would also have a hard time believing that.
Yeah.
If I was him. Can I tell you something about the earthquake that was interesting?
Yes.
When it happened, I was reading about nuclear war.
Yo,
it was nuts. I'm reading a novel that I'll actually mention later when we talk about what we're reading. But there's a part in it that talks about the risk and threat of mutually assured destruction and complete, nuclear warfare. And right as I was reading that, the earth started shaking under my feet. It was really crazy. That is really crazy, and that's like a anxiety-inducing thing to be doing while you're while you feel the. I know, yeah. And then right after it happened, I tweeted, "I just came so hard," and I thought that was pretty funny. Damn, dude, that's excellent response time. Yeah, it 10 to 15 minutes after it happened. That's still fucking nice. Yeah, but and then Ice-T later tweeted kind of the same joke. Really? But wordier. Yeah. Damn. He was like, I know you guys probably felt that earthquake, and actually what happened is like me and my wife were, he did the same joke in like 3 times as many words. Yeah. I love Ice-T. I love him too. He's awesome on Twitter. He is awesome on Twitter, and I don't know if you I like every once in a while I talk about this in my stand-up. I don't know if you've seen it. I'm not going to do the joke, but do it. Do the joke. Yeah, this is a safe space for that. No, I'm just fascinated by Ice-T's concept of a real nut. like a real orgasm? Yeah, like you don't know a real nut. Like a real nut is, and there's like an official quote. And I think some aggregator account on Twitter turned it into an official quote that's like somewhere on the internet. Oh, that's awesome. And I forget the exact wording, but it's like, first of all, it's all caps, so it's like a real nut. And then it's like, feels like it's like, I just remember the last like the last part of it is like, say no more, put me right to sleep. Yeah. So it is possible that Ice-T was. Is that a thing? When black people say like, "Yo, that put him to sleep," like it's like, does that have like a sexual connotation? Oh, that's a good question. I don't know. I mean, making someone come so hard they like go to sleep. Yeah, for sure. Because there's like a beef right now, or like a mild beef between like J. Cole and Kendrick. Oh, true. Or like they're like writing diss tracks about each other. Yeah. And J. Cole, I think, wrote that "To Pimp a Butterfly" put people to sleep, and then someone retweeted and was like, "Yo, saying 'To Pimp a Butterfly' put people to sleep is crazy." And I wasn't sure if he meant like that opinion is incorrect and outlandish, or if he was saying, "Yo, that's crazy." You know how people say like, "Yes, that's crazy," what they mean is like that is the wording is suspect or whatever. Yeah. I mean, in my opinion for that one, I think it's more just like people's reactions to what people say on the internet tends to be like hyperbolic. So like, yeah. But I think it probably is just J. Cole's opinion. Like, this put people to sleep. Like, right? Yeah. But that would be funny to say. That album made people come so hard. I mean, it's a great album. I think you could say that about it. Maybe. Yeah. I mean, yeah, it might. Damn. How about that? That's a really interesting take. I didn't hear about that. I listened to a little bit of the track on the J. Cole album, but I don't know. Yeah, I don't know why are they getting into it? What's going on? I think it was just that the Kendrick Lamar, like that feature on the future Metro Boomin album. Yeah, he mentioned J. Cole on that, right? I guess. I mean, that's what people say. It's like, I listened to that verse like once, and it's like always so hard for me to catch everything. Right. So I barely even. It's like, I don't even know if he necessarily. I mean, I guess he did mention J. Cole because he's like. I think the line that everyone is like bent out of shape about is it's like. Something. It's like, you see big three, I only see big me, or something, which is cool. That's cool. And the big three would be like, Drake, J. Cole, and Kendrick. Is that what he means? Yeah, I guess. Okay, yeah. I wonder if Kendrick's even in... I mean, he must be. Drake, J. Cole, and Kendrick. It must be the three of them. I mean, it's obviously Drake and J. Cole. Right.
But yeah, so I guess it's like he did technically in a not
Indirectly mention him.
Yeah, indirectly mention him. And then but yeah, I guess so that's why they're all up in arms.
Right.
And then also, I mean, I've tried to this is something I earlier this morning I was thinking about this cuz people are also saying that Metro Boomin is like Drake and Metro are beefing.
Oh, okay.
And like what the fuck? Like I think
I find it very hard to keep track of this stuff.
I find it really hard to keep track of, and then the people who do keep track of it are really tough to listen to.
That's right.
So it's like I would prefer to stay ignorant and not wade in the content waters of these other. Now I'm dissing.
Right? Yeah.
And
yeah,
now,
dude. Yeah, damn. You're about to have like a poorly written blog post.
Now,
with like 10 million ads.
Now,
it.
like one of Joe Budden's goons is gonna pants me on the street.
Well,
but,
I'm in your corner when that happens, dude.
Thanks, man.
I'm one of your goons.
Thank you, bro. I appreciate that. I mean, I don't mind if it happens. It's it's whatever.
Did you ever get pantsed in school?
I don't know if it happened in school. I've definitely had like friends do it to me.
Yeah, there was like a big pantsing period when I, like in like 7th or 8th grade, people started pantsing each other a lot.
Yeah, it went it went brazy.
It did go brazy. Also, tabletopping.
Tabletopping is so funny.
Yeah,
it's so mean.
It's really mean. Yeah, it's brutal. I did it to a couple people, and some people did it to me. Yeah, it was.
Damn.
It's very dangerous. You could
it's
like
really
crack
dangerous.
your head on the fucking
For real.
sidewalk.
I know, dude.
Yeah.
I've never tabletopped or been tabletopped.
That sounds sexual, by the way.
Yeah, tabletopped.
Yeah.
Well, honestly, that could be like a weird dom thing.
Yeah,
you know?
and also just because topping is.
Oh, true.
That's
That too. I've most definitely been pantsed. I don't know. I've definitely, but I feel like that's like some of my friends like still do that shit.
Really?
Yeah.
In their 30s?
I mean, it hasn't happened.
Like at the office?
No, like comic friends.
Oh yeah, right.
But it's never like for real doing it. It's like give you a little.
Oh give you a little
wake
jolt.
up. Yeah.
I should start like when you would like credit card people like swipe their like ass crack. I should do that the next time I'm like going on stage and someone brings me up instead of shaking hands.
Yeah, that's a good one. It's so damn, it's so disrespectful. I love it though.
Yeah.
It's so funny. I saw a video of this is a really mean one. It was a bunch of I'm pretty sure it was it was two homeless people fighting, and then a guy in a car got involved, and it was like,
why did he get involved?
It just starts with him getting involved, but here it comes.
I'll stay tuned. Sorry.
So it's two homeless people, and one person is like chasing the other one down, and the other person is facing them and running backwards down the street, and the guy gets out of his car and tabletops for her.
Wow.
And he like signals and she tabletops him.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Damn.
It's like a nice
that's what kind of outreach to the homeless is that?
True, it's a nice moment.
Yeah.
If connection
Yeah.
I mean for at least two of them.
Right 2 out of 3 had a great time there.
I wonder what code that is for. There's like code blue if it's really cold out.
Yeah.
It's like it's like camo or something. Code camo. But yeah, that's I don't know. I mean,
that's like war tactics.
It's really evil. I mean, that's also that dude whoever was like, I'll be the tabletop was on demon time for sure.
Because you have to like get on the ground and like. You have to like scrunch yourself up like a
I know.
Wild.
Yeah, it's like a lot of effort to.
I know. Yeah. And it's like sort of pathetic. It's like what the fuck are you doing? It's like no, this is gonna pay off. Like,
yeah, if it's like if you like met up with that guy later and he's like, yo, this is I did this shit earlier, you'd be like, what the fuck is wrong?
Yeah, your knees are dirty.
Yeah, you're...
you have gum on your palm.
Right, yeah, you're a psycho. And
Yeah,
I
remember I tabletopped this kid who I was actually like friends with. I went over to his house and we played like Civilization on his computer, and
nice.
A couple years later we were like at some other kid's birthday party, and I feel really bad about it, honestly. I think my guess is he remembers it, and he's like, fuck that guy, and I understand. Wasn't nice of me to do.
I get it. I get it. I got slapped in high school once.
Damn.
Just out of the blue.
Whoa.
A kid came up to me like in periods, like we were changing periods and we were like going to our classes, and a kid, it was like an older kid, and he came up to me and he went, hey, come here for a second, and then he slapped me, which is really funny.
Yeah,
that's a really funny one.
Yeah, I hate that though. That sucks.
Yeah, that does suck. And I think it was
like, how did you feel? I mean, the slap probably hurt.
It was, dude. Honestly, it made me laugh. But then,
wow, the equanimity, I gotta give it up to.
It made me laugh, but I was also like, I think it was, clearly it was done at my expense, but in the moment, for whatever reason, it felt like it wasn't. It felt like it was like, because I kind of knew this guy.
Yeah, that's how so much bullying happens. It's like, are we friends?
Right.
It's like kind of.
Yeah.
But you also just like, ball tapping too. That was.
Yeah, that's a big one.
Did you get ball tapped?
Yes.
Dude.
That's another one I still get sometimes.
Wow. It is funny.
It's funny.
Yeah.
It's always pretty funny, yeah. That one, like, that one hurts more.
I mean, yeah, of course.
That one's more, like, physically. I feel like a slap to the face is kind of like whatever. By the way, the kid's name who did it was Jim Tadley. I don't forget.
Yeah, no,
so
that's, sure,
like
of course.
identify.
No, that stuff, stuff stays in your head.
So
what do you think he's up to right now?
I don't know. He probably works for, like, Enterprise Rent-A-Car or something.
Yeah.
Some, just a regular job.
Right, yeah. He didn't become like a sales.
No, I don't think he's
guy.
like. Yeah, I don't think he's like. Oh no, not like. I think just like an office job.
Yeah.
Like I'm just thinking regular office.
Yeah.
Type shit.
I just feel like I've even tried to joke about this on stage and it doesn't really work. But I think it's a good point, which is a lot of times people are like, oh, your high school bully, like they always end up being like losers because they peak in high school. But I think that's completely untrue. Like
that's really
a lot of them are just are successful.
Yeah, they're fine.
Like the things that make you be a bully are good traits to succeed in business and life.
Yeah, it's true.
That's Chris Rock's joke in Tambourine. It's all about like we like tried to eliminate bullying in schools, and then Trump came along and a bully came and nobody knew how to deal with him.
Damn.
It's very
I forgot about that.
Very good joke. I mean, it's a good point.
Really good point. Really good joke. Really clever. Yeah, it's true. But yeah, you're right. I totally agree. It's like, I think, clearly it's like a way of trying to get over it or something. Be like, they're just going to be a loser.
It's cope, dude. Copium.
So I think they're going to be fine.
Yeah.
Unless you get bullied to a point where you have to nip it in the bud.
Shoot your... yeah, I guess, yeah.
You got to put the trench coat on.
Yeah.
No, I don't condone that. I don't like that.
Yeah. Put on the Metal Gear Solid soundtrack. Let's get to the first thing on our agenda.
Oh, yeah.
We got a lot to get through today.
Yes.
First section...
First item of the agenda
is what did you eat this week? Charles, is there anything you want to talk about that you ate this week?
Okay. Yes. You actually jogged my memory, and thank you for getting it earlier. I don't mean to reveal too much about your personal life, but earlier today you had a Vietnamese iced coffee.
This is good, big intel. It was so fucking good.
It looked good.
It's insane how good that shit is.
It looked really good. Shout out to Dot Lang.
Yeah, dude. Absolutely. Shout out to them.
But this is a similar. It's of a similar kind of thing. So earlier this week, there's a really fucked up Dunkin' Donuts by where I work.
Okay, tell me what's fucked up about it.
It's just like, okay, I guess it's fucked up in the sense not fucked up in a bad way for me. It's just fucked up in the sense that it does not do business well.
Yeah, sure.
Like, I kind of like it.
Yeah.
Which is why I go. And I like the people there are, like, all nice.
Yeah.
But the folks who work there usually, like, have headphones in and are watching shit on their phone.
Oh, nice.
Or they're, like, fucking with each other in the back.
Right. Well, that's nice camaraderie going on.
Yeah, it's good team building. I like that. It's also the space it occupies. It's like a very small Dunkin' Donuts. So there's a counter, and that's it. And it's like they're usually out of a couple main things.
Right.
They're just out of shit.
What do you get at Dunkin' Donuts?
Usually it's just a coffee or a nice coffee.
Yeah.
But like if
I don't like the Dunkin' Donuts coffee.
I'm like, it's not my favorite.
Yeah.
I guess
it sounds like you're there for the ambiance more than that.
Yeah, I'm there for the ambiance, and it's like I will say, it's very close to where I work, so it's like convenient. Right. But yeah, you're right. I go for the vibes. Vibes are immaculate.
Absolutely. Yeah.
It's also the doors always open for some reason.
Oh, nice.
So it's like it kind of lends itself to like it's the street. And then there's like Dunkin' Donuts behind the street. So
outdoor dining, man.
But I went in the afternoon earlier this week, and there was a dude on there watching shit on his phone. And as soon as I came in, he was bothered. He just like,
didn't like that you were there.
Yeah, just like I don't want to do this. But I was like, easy. I was like, can I just have a black iced coffee? And he got me. He just heard iced coffee.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, just black, And then he put a bunch of cream and sugar in it.
Damn.
Which is that's more work.
Yeah, right.
But I guess I feel like that's a common, like a cream and sugar iced coffee is like a pretty standard order.
It is, yeah. He was not thinking.
You just hear iced coffee and it's like, this is how everyone gets it.
Right.
And he gave me a cream and sugar, like half and half and just like white sugar.
Nice, yeah.
Iced coffee. And I haven't had that in so long. And I was like, well, fuck it. He gave me this.
Yeah.
I'll just drink this. And it was so good.
Yeah. No,
it was unbelievable.
Sugar's pretty good.
Yeah, dude.
It's really good in a bunch of stuff. It makes you happy when you consume it.
Crazy. It felt it like blew me away.
It is I think it's a drug. I think you could count it as right. It's
for
like
sure.
It works similarly.
Yeah.
Very addictive.
Mm-hmm.
Has effects on your mood and behavior.
Yeah. And it was just it reminded me because it was like the Vietnamese ice coffee.
Yeah.
It was similar. It was like very sweet.
Yeah.
So that's the one I'm gonna go with this week. That's
nice. Yeah.
It was kind of an unwelcome, and even also like I watched him make this.
Yeah.
I was the only person in there. I watched him make it,
and you didn't want to intervene. Like, no, I said black.
Yeah, I was just like, he's already halfway through.
Off.
He's already bothered.
Yeah.
I was like, whatever. Maybe this is happening for a reason.
You ever had the hot sandwiches from Dunkin' Donuts?
Okay. Not recently, but there was a time.
They're pretty fucked up.
Do you not like them? I mean, they are fucked up.
I mean,
sure.
who am I to? I mean, some of the things I've eaten over the years, like I definitely can't be like, oh, it's how gross. I've definitely eaten gross.
No, I get it, but they're
things, but they're bad. Like I don't know what it is about why they're so bad. I think God, what is it? It's like, dude, it feels like a hot sandwich you would get on like an Amtrak,
mm-hmm.
like
made by Amtrak, not.
Like, right.
Yeah.
Like it's like on the dining car, and it's like a pre-made thing. They heat up, and it's like all wet. It's like wet and hot.
Yes.
Yeah.
It gets really hot, and then they put it in the bag, and as soon as it gets in the bag, it gets wet.
Yes. Yeah. Exactly. That's the sequence. Yeah.
Yeah. Which is like, can you just put it in my hand?
Yeah.
I'll take it. I'll burn a little.
It's like a hot pocket. It's like and I love hot pockets.
Yeah, they're good.
But yeah, so anyway, that's like, dude, I don't know. I think I also have something against Dunkin' Donuts because people from New England rep it so hard, and
No, I feel you.
I find that annoying. So I think I have a sort of a Homer, like, you know, like, fuck that. It's not that
Yes.
great.
No, I feel you. So, say there's a Dunkin' Donuts, and let me just put a pin in the Dunkin' Donuts sandwich.
Yeah, please,
because I would like to work back to that, because there's an important thing in my personal history that I'd like to share.
Please, yeah.
But so say a Wawa and Dunkin' Donuts were side by side. You want a coffee?
Oh, I'd
You
go
to
for
Wawa?
Wawa every time. Yeah,
Yeah.
I do think Wawa's coffee is better than Dunkin' Donuts, and I would say Dunkin' Donuts is among the worst coffee there is.
Really?
I mean, Starbucks is pretty bad.
Starbucks is bad.
For example, if it was like McDonald's coffee or Dunkin' coffee, McDonald's every time.
Dude, yes.
Yeah, that's,
McDonald's has. Yeah, I like McDonald's coffee.
yeah.
I
Burger King. Now that's interesting. That's kind of a psycho move. Burger King coffee.
Wait, I didn't. Yeah, honestly, I didn't know they even served
that
it.
was even possible. I
It's
mean,
just
I think it is, but
before 11 a.m. we only have Coke.
yeah,
Yeah, but yeah, that's true. Because McDonald's is like known for the breakfast,
yes, yeah,
so like Burger King is kind of late to the game.
yeah,
I have a feeling the coffee's kind of half.
yeah. Maybe they don't have coffee. I just feel, I have a,
They must.
I feel like I have had it before somehow.
Now,
Like I feel like you know what it is.
I'm sure they have.
One of the temp jobs I had
Oh.
after college was I worked.
This is scary.
No, it was fine.
I'm just kidding.
Yeah. One of the temp jobs I had, I worked at the like management office of this big like apartment complex in like South LA, and the only stuff around was fast food. It was kind of a classic, what they call a food desert, you know.
Yeah.
So Burger King was like the only place around. So once I like went, I like brought a book to like during my lunch break to like read at Burger King, and I think I had a coffee and a fish sandwich.
Damn.
And it fucked me up.
Stop.
Awful. Awful. Bad combo.
You had no choice. That's what happens in food deserts.
But it was interesting. Everybody was so friendly at the Burger King. Like everybody was
cool.
like getting along, and the people that went seemed to know each other and stuff.
I really like that. I think people underestimate the camaraderie that can happen in a fast food dining room.
Yeah, no, I mean, there's literally a guy on Twitter named Chris Arnade who has made his entire career out of taking pictures of like old people at McDonald's being like, the elites don't understand the cultural things that happen at McDonald's in like rural places or in like poor cities.
Wow.
Which, you know, truthfully is like, that's interesting. And then he just like, but then he's hammered that so long. And that's the only thing he talks about. So I unfollowed him.
Yeah, it might be a tough follow after.
Also because his big thing is often like, the things that are happening on Twitter like aren't real life. You guys have no idea what's really going on. But he's on Twitter constantly. He tweets like 75 times a day. So it's like,
yeah, true.
Okay.
Yeah, man.
Listen to your own advice a little bit.
Yeah, you touch grass.
Exactly. Yeah, touch grass. Very good.
It is good. I thought of it. I thought about it this week because I hadn't heard it in a while, and it like was satisfying to remember. Okay, so okay. Now,
anyway, I'm sorry. I feel like we've gotten off track. I feel you have something that you want.
I'm deep in the fast food breakfast game.
Yeah.
Burger King used to have a thing called Cine Minis.
Ew.
It's a gross name.
Yeah.
As a little kid, as like a fat little kid, that name was fine with me.
No, sure.
But
I mean, it's kind of exciting. It's titillating. So it's like cinnamon, something like a mini cinnamon bun or something
literally,
like that?
Yeah, tiny cinnamon buns.
Yeah.
And they came in
City
little
minis, dude. Ew.
containers. They're so good.
Yeah.
And as a fat kid, you didn't need a coffee in the morning.
No, yeah.
So it's like,
for sure.
You just get me Cine Minis.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so that was. I don't even know if I've ever had their savory breakfast. I think it was always.
Yeah.
There's always that. Now here, I'm kind of all over the place, but you made me curious. Was your fish sandwich from Burger King? Was it long?
Was it long? Oh, that's a great question.
You know how they have long sandwiches?
I believe it was long. Yeah.
That's so crazy.
Yeah.
The long chicken sandwich at Dunkin' or at
It's like a
Burger
hoagie,
King.
I guess.
It's so awesome.
Yeah.
It's stacked.
Wow.
And like oval. It's like an oval shaped sandwich. There's something funny to me about it.
Well, I wonder what Burger King's doing. Like, what's their corporate strategy? Because it's like, we're never going to be McDonald's.
Yeah.
Are they just like, we're gonna take out Wendy's fucking knees? Like, you know, like, are they just trying to be like number 2,
Well,
or
that's
are
a
they
good
like,
question,
how do
'cause-
can we somehow, or are they just like, listen, you can't. Sometimes you might not want to go to but McDonald's is everywhere. It's like
I know.
everywhere there's a Burger King, there's probably a McDonald's.
Yeah.
So I just wonder, like, are they just like, there's enough room for all of us?
Now, I have a feeling we can get intel on this because I don't know if you know this, but Burger King is owned by a private equity company.
Oh, no, I didn't know
A
that.
few years ago, they got bought by, I believe it's H3 Investments,
Whoa.
which is like a massive.
Are other fast food companies owned by private equity?
I feel like maybe more minor ones might
Yeah.
be, but of the major, like speaking of big three, of like
Yeah.
the
Big 3 would be McDonald's, Burger King,
and-
Wendy's.
yeah.
Yeah.
I think Burger King's the only one.
That's fascinating.
Yeah, so that strategy.
That's hilarious too. Yeah, it's like a private equity firm that owns like all of like James Taylor's catalog and Burger King
Yeah.
and like arms, you know.
Yeah,
like an arms
dealing,
contractor. Yeah.
like a fridge manufacturer
Yeah.
in like the Midwest. Yeah, they're owned by a private equity company, and I think they're still owned by a private equity company. And so I feel like the strategy in that case, I don't know. I feel like we can find out because I feel like the guys who run these companies give like interviews and like earnings calls to like shareholders and shit.
Yeah.
The vibe I get is like, we don't need to be number one. Let's just get as much value as we can
Right.
out of it, and
Let's
then
make
like
the sandwiches like 9% longer, or shorter, maybe.
9% shorter would go unnoticed, probably.
Right. Well, but maybe they're like, how can we make them look long?
Yeah,
Because
right.
long is part of the brand, but we need to cut down on the material of like, what is the line of like looking long, but saving like, you know, like 2% per sandwich, which adds up.
Right.
It's like how they like, I think Seinfeld has a joke about how Kit Kat, like, Kit Kat is carved into like the chocolate, so it saves them chocolate.
Wow.
One of these psychotic observations that only the greatest observational comedian of all time could make.
Dude, that's so funny. I don't even remember that joke.
I feel that's like that. I think that's a Seinfeld joke because it just feels like him like
Yeah.
in a room with candy,
Mm-hmm.
just like equations like, you know, flowing in front of his face.
Precision observation. But yeah, it's true. So, yeah, I don't know about, but you're probably right. There's probably something they're doing. I feel like I've seen more. Well, I don't know.
Is BK Have It Your Way? Is that their?
Yeah.
Okay, so they're going in that direction as far as the branding.
Mm-hmm.
They don't do the guy anymore, the Burger King.
King.
They got rid of him. Anti-royalist sentiment, I guess. Took that out of the running.
I guess they got rid of it. There was a peasant uprising.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, the burger peasants, burger Bolsheviks.
Yeah, true. True. Yeah, off with his head.
What do you think of Arby's?
You know,
That's kind of a psycho decision. I remember liking Arby's a lot as a kid.
yeah, I feel like people really like it, and I
Yeah.
don't really see anything wrong with it. It's just not for me.
I don't
It's
love
like-
their branding now is we have the meats.
Yeah, which is like
I hate it.
It's like funny-ish.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's
like funny adjacent,
Right.
but sort of weird and upsetting and
Mm-hmm.
excessively aggressive, I
Yeah.
guess.
I just don't. Here's the thing. Okay. I guess I can't really speak on it because I don't know if I've ever even had Arby's.
Yeah.
I probably have been into an Arby's.
Right.
I feel like I probably just haven't gotten something.
If you've been to Boston Market, you've had a better experience of what Arby's does.
Yeah,
Because I think Arby's does like...
It's like hot meat sandwich.
Yeah,
right?
hot. Yeah.
But
sort
it's
of
like hot, thinly sliced
hometown.
meat.
Yeah, like hot deli stuff. And I
Yeah.
feel like Boston Market does like a slightly better version of that.
Mm-hmm. There's now in I forget where. I think somewhere in perhaps White Marsh Township, Pennsylvania,
Okay.
or perhaps maybe even a little bit farther out. There's a it's like a restaurant that it's essentially a bar,
Yeah.
and they have roast beef sandwiches.
Nice.
And for a period of time years ago, I would go there with my dad, and they have awesome roast beef sandwiches
Nice.
because it's like pretty much homemade. It's like literally just a bar, and the guy like just buys the shit.
That's cool.
And then they make that. So it's like that's kind of my baseline when I was eating meat. Pause.
That always gets me.
It's always I've been talking about it a lot
Yeah.
lately. Pause. But yeah, so I mean I'd be willing to try Arby's if there was like a time where I was like, yeah, fuck it, I'll have like a sandwich with meat on it.
Yeah. It's pretty amazing the variety and quantity of different kinds of fast food that America has. I know it's an obvious
It's
observation.
True. No, I
but
like it.
it's pretty wild.
Mm-hmm.
There's like 20 or so national chains.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. And then there's ones that are like geographically specific.
Right, yeah.
Which I kind of like, but I guess I kind of like it because it's fun when you're in that town.
Yeah,
You're
there's
like,
a
oh.
southern one whose name I'm forgetting, but I did a comedy festival in North Carolina, and then me and the other comics who I went with were driving up, and we started the day by having like large sweet iced teas.
Was it Bojangles?
Yes, that's what it was. Large
Shout out.
sweet iced teas and like biscuits, and it
I
was
love
like,
Bojangles.
It was really good, but it was
Yeah.
also like a crazy thing to put in your body first thing in the morning.
That is crazy.
Unbelievable dehydration.
Yeah, that is a wild.
And then we
sweet
drove
tea.
for like 10 hours.
Damn. Yeah, that's not. That's
Your body
It's
is just like, what's happening to me?
dude. That actually because I've actually had this feeling. Now here's a psycho move too. I'd like to share with you. Another truly psycho Bojangles order. So Charlotte Airport is like kind of a hub for transfers. I forget where I was flying, but the layover is there's a Bojangles in the Charlotte Airport.
Nice.
It was early. I got a coffee from Bojangles.
That is crazy.
I got a black coffee.
Yeah, that's
And
crazy.
and it was like I think I just wanted to because the goal was to sleep more on the plane, but I still did it just to be like I should try it.
Right. This is a story. This is an experience I ought to have.
And I think I also just wanted to try everything on the menu at some point.
Right.
And they have it, and it's not bad. It wasn't bad coffee, but yeah,
Bitter.
Yeah. Kind of bitter, but not like crazy.
Yeah.
Not any more than honestly. Might take it over a Dunkin' Black.
I don't even. I feel like Dunkin' and Blacks is just like. Is it like on the weaker side?
It feels watery.
Yeah, that's what it is. It's like
Yeah.
piping hot and like really watery, and then Starbucks' coffee is excessively bitter and just has a gross, borderline chemical aftertaste.
Yeah, you nailed it. I was literally going to say chemical as well.
Yeah,
there's a
and
chemical
McDonald's is
to
just
it.
kind of hits. It's perfect. It's like somewhat. It's like strong. Feels. I'm bad at describing taste.
No,
but
no. You're
it's
on the
just
right
like
track.
tastes like how coffee should taste.
Yes.
It's pretty
Mellow.
strong, but doesn't cross over into bitterness.
Yeah, mellow, roasty.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, I like it. Yeah, Bojangles. But yeah, we do have a ton of fast food chains, and they all seem to be I don't know. Like, seem to be working.
Yeah,
working okay.
I mean, I think I always think I don't know. It's like some guy that moved here from like the USSR in the 80s and goes on his first road trip, and it's just like
just overwhelmed.
Overwhelmed
By
with
the
like
options.
joy, and that's when he becomes a Republican.
I mean, yeah. What's your okay?
Because I feel like that's like a somewhat common experience of like immigrants that come from like communist countries.
Yes,
If they when they I mean, not that doesn't happen all the time,
but
it's
just
like,
that there's so much variety. Yeah, it's like
they're just like, oh fuck yeah, I love like the free market.
yes. There is an interesting. So, my cousin got married in Mexico a couple of years ago, and one of his wife's cousins I was talking to about. She's from Mexico City.
Yeah.
And lived in Mexico her whole life, and then one of her cousins moved to America, and she went to visit him, and she was like, she had a similar experience where she was like, I like gained so much weight because there was just like so many options of like fast food and like pizza and like all this shit.
Yeah.
And
my aunt who lives in Argentina, like when she visits, I remember she was telling me once that she went to Costco and was just like, what the fuck? She just and like sort of like insulting it, but also clearly amazed.
Yeah.
Like on paper, what the message was, this hyper commerce that the U.S. engages in is like
True.
a farce and kind of excessive and gross, but
yeah.
But the subtext was like, this shit is awesome.
It's so awesome.
Oh my god!
I know.
Like, yeah, it was. She was like sort of giddy describing it.
I bet, dude.
Yeah.
I think I would probably, if I was from a different country and saw all this. I mean, look, I kind of fall for it now.
Yeah,
so
of course.
It's like
yeah.
I would be gone.
Yeah.
I'd be at like whatever my fast food choice of like my preferable. I would be there every day, probably.
Yeah, totally. Like when you go to like a good mall, it's just like, damn.
Yeah.
The abundance around me.
I know. I mean, shout out Hudson Yards.
I've barely been inside Hudson Yards. Would you call that a good mall? I know it's
not
incredibly,
a good mall.
Yeah, it's very fancy, but
it's like I don't even know how to. It's like the possibilities of high-end retail exploded there.
Yeah.
It's literally, it's like, I feel like we've talked about this, but like the target customer is like a chic.
Yeah, for sure. Right. It's like
one of the stores is called Watches of Switzerland.
That is great.
And it's like crazy expensive. It's just really nice watches.
Yeah.
And then
I like watches. I don't know that I would, I think the most expensive watch I would get would be in the, $500 range, I think, like something really like nice and classy. I don't know that I would ever want a bedazzled. I also don't like the style of watch that's super like techy.
Yeah, same.
I like a leather band and just like a nice like minimalistic but classic looking watch face.
Yeah, I agree. Honestly, I think I see a Shinola watch in your future.
Shinola, yes, I do. Literally, I've browsed the Shinola website. Yeah. I like they're made in Detroit. That's nice.
I was just gonna say, American made, which is a bonus.
Should we? Can I tell you about what I ate this week?
Please. We've gotten off topic. I mean, we could sit and talk about
we really
restaurants
could,
all day. So,
but was there anything else you wanted to say about Dunkin' Donuts sandwiches? You mentioned something that was important in your childhood, and I just want to make sure we don't leave that behind.
Thank you for remembering and also inquiring again. So it's not even necessarily. It was kind of early adulthood, but years ago, Dunkin' Donuts tried their hand at breakfast burritos.
Ew.
It worked really. It was really good, but but I think it was a thing that lost the money because it was good. So it must have been like,
oh, that's funny. Yeah,
like the ingredients must have been somewhat good because I remember enjoying it.
Yeah,
and specifically one day I remember hitting the same Dunkin' Donuts and getting it twice.
Oh, nice. What was the delay between the first time and the second time?
I went to a museum. and then I like and because
So 2-3 hours.
oh yeah, like hours.
Yeah.
Hours. Like it was like it was like morning and then like almost evening.
Did you get the same kind of burrito?
Yeah, I think they only had one option.
Okay, and they served it all day.
I guess.
Nice.
Yeah, I mean, I think it was like a newer.
Yeah.
But I just remember really enjoying it, and I have a pretty like trash palate probably. But
what museum did you go to in between?
I went to the Barnes Foundation.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, the one that because it used to be in like Marion.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
Do you remember a painting that you looked at that day with like Dunkin' Donuts burrito in your body?
Okay. I don't remember specifically, but there is... Okay, so I know that there's like a cool smaller section of like sculpture and paintings where when you go into... Because some of it's kind of laid out, like that guy's house.
Yeah.
Like I think that's part of the thing.
Right.
So there is... Not the whole museum anymore, but there is that one section that's kind of like his house, and there's a staircase that goes to like a second floor. I think that's part of that like house kind of setup. And when you go on that second floor, it's like a small little corridor of sculpture and paintings, and it's just it feels like an under-visited area because it seems like hard to access. I don't remember what I saw there, but I just
remember being there.
I remember enjoying that little
That's
section.
Nice. Yeah.
So. For whatever that's worth. But
what's your favorite museum?
Ooh,
hard question to answer because they have different qualities that, like the Met, in New York is sick, but I think I always feel pretty overwhelmed when I'm there.
I feel really overwhelmed, and it's like if I zone in on a couple things, then I have a really great experience. Honestly, I like and not even necessarily for the art, but I like the Whitney because of the stuff that I like. I've gone there with you a couple times.
Yeah.
I've gone there with you and Mary a couple times.
Yeah.
And
we've had good experiences there.
Yeah, I just really enjoyed it. I like that it's open at night.
Yeah,
on Fridays.
Cool.
I like that it's open kind of late, which is just it feels cool to be in a museum late at night.
That's true. Yeah.
So yeah, how about you?
I mean, I think I had a pretty powerful experience going to the National Anthropology Museum in Mexico City when Mary and I visited.
Sounds really
amazing place, overwhelming as well, but I think it's like, what is the museum that will allow me to have a powerful singular experience with a piece of work? I think that's what I want, because I think often when I go to the Met, obviously incredible cultural place that's a gift to be able to go to.
Yeah.
But I'm just like, I have to look at so many things. I feel pressed, I did do acid once with my friend Greg.
You went to the Met?
And went to the Met, and that was pretty sick.
That's
and
awesome.
I remember like looking at some Van Goghs and being pretty into it. So that was a good experience.
That sounds really fun. That sounds crazy. Just in the sense of like potential reactions. Also, did you go when it was not like mobbed? It gets because
we went in like I think we went in the middle of a weekend day, so it was pretty busy. I remember we were talking about a Joe Rogan episode while walking through the Met. We were like trying to remember what it was about.
Nice.
We were like, I think we were like trying to test each other about like.
That's funny.
We were like, all right, what was that most recent Joe Rogan episode about? It was like, oh yeah, it was that guy Graham Hancock, who is like he's like a conspiracy theory historian,
right?
Who writes about like how civilization might be like way older than we think it is, and they had like a 3.5 hour episode about a archaeological site called Göbekli Tepe.
Oh yes,
yeah.
Wait, I know about this.
Yeah.
I don't remember about this episode, but our friend Matt McCusker knows a lot about.
Yes, yeah, of course, yeah.
Matt's tapped into the ancient.
And I think I've even heard Matt talk about Graham Hancock before.
Oh, okay.
So that makes sense. Yeah,
it's a funny name to.
Very fun. It's a very funny name for like bros to be like keyed into.
Yeah, Damn, that sounds like a fun experience.
It was a great day.
I like that. Yeah,
it was really nice.
But I like what you're saying too about the anthropological museum in the sense, especially in the sense that like, yeah, my goal is also to like kind of connect with a thing or like a couple things, like, and that only happens. It doesn't happen to everything I see.
Yeah,
I mean,
for sure. The big things I liked were the Olmecs, which is like one of the oldest civilizations that were in the Americas. They're like pre-Aztec by like 1,000 years. They were like the Aztecs were like, you know, whatever, the, you know, 1100 to 1400, right? Like some in that general range, but maybe earlier. Olmecs are like 900 BC.
Damn.
And they left these massive heads.
Whoa.
They just made these huge heads out of boulders.
Yeah.
And that's their big kind of contribution to well, you know, I mean, that's the thing that like laid out behind.
Pretty amazing.
So that was cool. And I had heard about those things before, so it was cool to like go and see it. And then the Aztec thing was the Stone of the Sun. So just this massive calendar they made out of a huge stone, and it's hanging down in like this big central chamber. And yeah, it's like an Aztec calendar that's carved into like a huge piece of stone, and it's just fucking awesome. So cool. So I really loved that.
Yeah. Also, like the historical kind of element.
Yeah.
Kind of adds to like the awe to
totally. It's like damn, this is like a piece of like Earth. This is like
this was real
for sure. It yeah, absolutely. I agree with that. It, you know, and paintings are great, obviously, but it's like there is something different about you like carve this out of like a mountain, and it's this.
I know. Yeah, that's true too.
Like a sacred object. Very cool.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's like I'm not trying to be cute. It's just this is my reference point, but it's like Mexican Stonehenge or something.
Yeah, no, for sure.
So funny.
I would love to go to Stonehenge.
Yeah, me too.
It's awesome.
I follow the Stonehenge account on Twitter.
Oh, damn! I should follow it.
It's literally they just post pictures every morning of like here's sunrise at Stonehenge.
I love it. Yeah,
which is nice, and I like the the admin. I'm sure they're very like down to business.
Yeah,
you know, they don't fuck around. They don't get into these fucking childish Twitter wars, Twitter beefs. They just post Stonehenge.
Yeah, they don't have a super logged on like undergrad who's like tweeting, because you know how like Wendy's Twitter,
the fast food,
right.
But yeah, back to I would like to hear. Apologies for making you wait so long to share this, because it sounds great. I would like to hear.
Oh yeah. So what I ate this week was wine braised beef stew with carrots, celery, and shallots. It started with
so nice.
It's very good.
The shallots really is like a nice little.
Yes, that was a new addition. I had not done that before. It's they're just so like translucent and soft and sweet.
It's like what? That's like a young onion, right?
Yeah,
sort of. It's a different thing.
It's like an onion. It's like smaller and sweeter, I guess. Started from a Gordon Ramsay recipe. You're supposed to, you know, like the ideal is like short rib. You like go get short ribs from like a butcher.
Sure.
But this I just like got cheap like cut up beef chuck from the grocery store. And you sear it and then cook it in wine for like 4 hours.
Wow!
And any meat that you cook in wine for that long is going to be great.
I was gonna say it's like I guess the ideal like expert chef fine dining thing would be like get this really good meat, but it's like the way you're cooking it is also really
forgiving
like,
for anything.
Yeah, that sounds awesome.
Yeah. Also back to Gordon Ramsay, he pronounces shallots, and I like that.
It's true.
So I always think of shallots, and then when he does cooking videos, every ingredient that goes in, he like carrots in.
Oh wait, yes.
Shallots in.
Yeah, wait. We've watched him. We've watched videos of this happening. Like to get. Like, I think you're the one who put me onto it, but that is. I like that.
It's
and
nice.
It's like it's also a good definitive chef. Like here's what you do.
Yes.
I'm acting out the recipe for you
for sure.
Rather than like, it's in the lineage of Bam.
Yeah. That's true. Wow. Emerald. Yeah. It's like a gunshot. It's like here it is. Like, Here's the next step.
Paying homage.
Yes.
To,
I like that.
Yeah.
So that was really good. It's fun. It's funny to bring that, that this is like legit food, and after talking about like
it is legit. That's
Bojangles
legit
for 25 minutes, but listen, hey, it's all good. It's,
no, this is great. Did you eat it with anything? Like, was it
rice? I just made
rice,
like white rice,
and
then I grated a little bit of cheese on top of it.
Ooh,
yeah.
What kind?
Cheddar. Yeah,
wow.
cheddar.
I like this.
Or no, I think I forget any kind of cheese on it.
Just a little bit of cheese on top. That's nice.
And then when my girlfriend was out of town, but when she's in town and I make this, Mary will make risotto.
Oh wait,
and then it's like an unbelievable. It's a decadent feast.
Wild.
Yeah.
That's wild. I mean, honestly, this sounds like a Stonehenge-esque meal, like a thing you would eat.
No, for sure. Yeah, it's
in
definitely
the English countryside.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I mean, cooking shit in wine feels old. Like
so
chopping up and like chopping up carrots and celery and stuff. That's classic. That's called onion, carrots, and celery is called mirepoix.
Oh, right.
And that's, I think, named after like a guy, a French guy
who invented that,
invented that,
arranged that.
Yeah.
That's cool. I didn't know that.
And it's just nice. It's like very aromatic and deep, and
Yeah, carrots, celery,
shallots.
I think I'm gonna start doing that.
Shallots in. Sometimes I put mushrooms in too.
Yeah, that's
really
a
nice
too.
Like substantial.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you could do this. You could do a veg version of this.
It sounds really good.
I wonder what the good veg substitution of the meat would be. Do you think like fat mushrooms?
I feel like
big, like portobello kind of.
Yeah,
it has to be some like substantial
right.
like, thing.
Dude, there's
tofu. I guess you could do it with tofu.
Yeah,
it feels weird, but
it does feel weird just because it's like. I wonder what. I feel like mushroom is probably the thing.
Yeah.
I just don't know what kind, but there is. So there's a coffee shop by where I live.
Yeah.
A guy who always comes in works at. He works on a farm in Bucks County, probably in Bucks County, Pennsylvania. Comes in every Saturday. He like works at a farmer's market and he sells mushrooms and he like gives these big mushrooms to the staff.
Oh, that's nice.
And I feel like he might have a good idea of what to do with it. But yeah, I like that. Okay. Does cooking it, depending on how much wine you use, but does it like give you a little?
No, because you cook out
the
all the alcohol. Yeah, it'd be sick if it got you hammered.
Yeah. Well, I guess so. Yeah, I don't know enough about.
But when you put the wine in, first you like boil it and you like pour a whole bottle of wine in, so you're just boiling meat and wine.
That's. I mean,
it's the most insane good smell. I mean, it's unimaginable. It's crazy.
I mean,
that doesn't like actually get you drunk, but it's certainly like
it's like sexy.
It is sexy. It's an intense sensory experience. Yeah.
That's intoxicating.
It was, yeah. So I was pretty happy with that, and then I watched. I made that and watched Interstellar.
Oh,
the Christopher Nolan space movie that I hadn't seen since it came out.
That's pretty awesome. That's
I love that movie.
It's a really sensory.
Yeah,
experience.
it is. It's true. Yeah. Do you like that movie?
I never saw it.
Dude, it's awesome.
I should watch it.
It's among my favorite Christopher Nolan movies, I think.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. I feel like I haven't seen many of the Christopher Nolan. I've seen, The Dark Knight.
Yeah.
And Inception, right?
Classic.
I've seen those, but I don't think I didn't see Oppenheimer.
Yeah.
I haven't seen it yet. I'm just slow to...
Sure, yeah.
But I would, I should, okay. Because I feel like you've told me about Interstellar before, and I should, I don't know. Why not?
Yeah, it's just awesome.
It.
It's a beautiful movie about space, and the visuals are incredible, and I would say emotionally it's very affecting.
Wow.
And I think Christopher Nolan tends to sometimes believable emotions aren't always his strong suit.
True. No, for sure. Yeah. That is an interesting kind of deviation in his work where I wouldn't expect that. So that's neat, and also it's just kind of neat that it happens in space. It's just
and
cool
McConaughey
aspect.
is great, charisma.
The cast for that one is cool
really
to me
good,
too.
yeah.
It's very unique. I feel like for a Christopher Nolan movie, or just a kind of action director.
Yeah.
So I should watch that. I like that evening of.
It was nice, dude. And then my friend Jacob turned me on to watching TV. I mean, this sounds kind of obvious, but watching TV with headphones on instead of like watching something with like the TV's like sound and
whoa.
And yeah, like this like that movie's sound is really good, and it's like much more like intimate when it's like if you're watching shit on a laptop, it's like that's what you do usually.
Yeah, for sure.
But it's like doing that on a TV where the picture's big, but then
dude, that's I think especially for like for movies.
Yeah.
I would
where sound matters.
Yeah, where sounds like they're using it intentionally. Yes. Most likely. It'd be funny to be watching like Vanderpump Rules with headphones on.
I know, totally. Yeah, yeah, or like Mr. Beast YouTube videos.
Yeah, damn, I like that. I like. Have you ever been to those like movie theaters where they like serve the dinner?
Dude, I don't like those.
Yeah,
I mean,
I don't like.
I like them in the sense that they're.
I like snacks.
Dude, yeah, but I mean, you shouldn't be eating a fucking like chicken sandwich
I know.
and watching a movie.
Yeah,
no, I'm like against that, even though those like the Alamo Drafthouse is the classic one that does that,
right?
And it's like they're a great theater. I mean,
it's cool.
Seeing movies there is awesome, but yeah, it's like you shouldn't eat like a meal like a bowl of chili.
It's always it's true. It's like doing that at home is a completely different thing.
Totally, yeah.
So it's like going out to a theater. It always throws me off too. Like going to a theater and then seeing someone get like a burger delivered.
Yeah,
it's like what the fuck?
Yeah.
I agree. It's like you're supposed to.
Oh, dude, wait! I have an idea now.
Yeah.
Hibachi restaurant movie theater.
Ooh, wait, and it's like an immersive experience where the chef is on the screen.
Oh, that's cool. I like that. I was thinking personal chef for every chair, and they're just like trying to do it quietly. They're like flipping shrimp, but like shh. Like whispering.
An army, like literally like a 250 seat movie theater.
Yeah.
Just ting, 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 ting. Just the clink of the spatulas. Whoa, dude!
Damn,
I like that.
It's a good idea.
That's actually a really good idea.
Yeah.
I think we should. Maybe we might not want to edit this out so we can trademark it.
Yeah. Nah, dude, open source, man. If anyone can make this happen.
Open source. Actually, yeah, I know Elon Musk listens to this, so.
Dude, let's move on to science, which is a story about the bird flu.
Mm-hmm.
A U.S. dairy farm worker infected as bird flu spreads to cows in 5 states.
I know.
So I guess the fear is that
it's back.
And it could be transmitting across species and could become devastating.
I know.
You ready for a new pandemic?
I think they're trying.
Yeah.
They're trying because there was, and I don't even necessarily.
Wait, who's trying to do what?
Like, okay, in my opinion, it's like I think there is, and not in the sense. Certainly, disclaimer this. Not in the sense that people believe like, hoax, conspiracy.
Right.
We're trying to get the sheeple to get vaccinated, like all that shit. I don't believe that. I think it's like there was a lot of eyeballs on news reports, and you were able to go along with like sensational headlines as
you think this
a publication.
You think this is like a little bit of fear mongering?
I don't know if it's necessarily fear mongering.
Yeah.
It may even be unintentional. It's just like you see that, and it's like kind of aligned with potential pandemic.
Right.
This is kind of addicting to be putting this out.
It is true. Yeah, it is exciting to think of like a new disease. I mean, I definitely don't want there to be bird flu.
I don't either, but I mean, it happened. What was it? We were kids when it really popped
there was,
off.
Yeah,
you remember that
and
one?
Then there was like swine flu.
Yeah.
Dude, okay. Cage match: swine flu, bird flu, monkeypox. Mad cow disease.
Ooh.
Yeah, Final Four, mad cow disease, swine
I
flu.
think, mad cow disease, just the name alone is like kind of walks in the room before you.
That's true,
before
yeah.
the
And then
opponent.
it makes you, it like infects your mind in
Yeah,
ways that
yeah.
the others don't.
Right, so it might be like, I think mad cow disease.
Yeah. Monkeypox has a pretty, that's pretty nice though.
That one's rough.
Yeah.
That one is rough. I agree. The name's rough too.
Yeah, I was trying to come up with like more like animal disease names. Goat palsy.
I used to do a joke about this, but bird flu, like the more proper name that sometimes people would go with was avian influenza, which is disgusting.
Yeah.
And scary.
Yeah.
But
Like a Bond villain name. Or like porn name. That'd be a funny porn name.
yeah, dude, that's actually ooh.
Yeah, it's kind of sexy. Yeah.
Well, I'm just thinking of like the possibilities of getting into the porn business as like producer director.
Yeah,
and having like anal influenza volume 36.
Also, because influenza and influencer sound alike, and a lot of porn stars you would say are anal influencers. Influential in the field of anal.
Yeah, you're right. That is a very that's a very like poetic kind of link up.
Yeah.
Um,
But yeah, so, I guess...
I don't know. Are you worried about it?
No, I'm not. And the article actually wasn't super fear-mongering.
I don't think so
The big
either.
thing it was saying was like...
very informative.
Yeah, it was just like, all right, this guy got infected, but like, this guy was around cows, but it's like, now it's like, is he able to infect another human? That's like not certain,
Oh, it
I
remains
guess.
to be seen. He also, I don't know what the other symptoms were, but maybe I missed it, but when I read it, he got like pink eye.
Damn.
I think that's it.
Yeah. Okay, so it's not even that bad, yeah.
Right, well, that's what I mean. So it's like, but it could just be, I bet he's being monitored, and it's like, I bet they're like, still don't go near anybody because it
For
was,
sure, yeah.
It was like, this is a different kind of pink eye.
Yeah.
This isn't like, you touched a coin and then touched your eye.
Yeah.
It's like...
I think I just, every time I look at like a group of pigeons, I'm like, I'm surprised there isn't like avian flu ravaging every city in America like twice a week. It's just like dirty animals.
Yeah, they are. I kind of fuck with them.
No, I like pigeons too, but
I agree.
Yeah.
It's like they're truly like a bird that has like inhabited the city well and like adapted to it.
Yeah, like they're like getting a train run on them by like rats. And then they're like flying over a school and
and like they also I was crossing the street
I've seen pigeons at the airport before.
It's so funny.
That's funny.
That's hilarious. Well, I got to take this off to go through TSA.
Yeah.
Fitted hat on.
Can I bring this hot dog bun?
Yeah. It's on his back.
Yeah.
No, I was crossing the street and there was a pigeon in my way. I think it was on my bike, and I don't know. Typically, when you get close to a bird, it like jumps, flies away, but it literally waddled, didn't change its speed.
Nope.
It's like they're completely desensitized to
they're commuters.
Impending death. Yeah, they are. Yeah, they are. They're commuters.
Yeah.
But yeah, I agree with you that it's also interesting. They kind of just like keep to themselves. I mean, maybe that's why it's not more widespread amongst humans.
Right,
like they're
right,
kind of like, I've never really seen pigeons like attack people or like.
Yeah, that'd be nuts.
I know, because they could probably take a few of us.
Dude, yeah, like 25 pigeons could fuck me up.
Yeah, divert me.
Yeah, definitely,
sure. Like,
definitely make me
hiding.
late for wherever I'm going.
Yeah, I would like go into a place and chill for like an hour.
Yeah. Like I gotta figure out what the hell that was. Watch yourself going viral immediately after.
Well, yeah, that's the I mean, maybe that's part of their scheme.
Yeah.
What's like the I don't know. Yeah, but yeah, you're right.
Wait, what were you gonna ask?
I was just gonna ask. Don't like really fried conspiracy theorists have the thing that like some pigeons are like cameras? Like CIA
dude,
cameras?
that's nice. I like that. Also, I like deep fried as like description.
I know.
Like, what would you say? I mean, I like know what you mean by that, and I
Yeah.
think probably the average listener to this episode will know what that means. But how would you like define what deep fried is?
Like
To someone who's not aware.
Yeah, deep fried to me, especially when it comes to like conspiracy, would be like
Yeah.
somebody who's like everything is a conspiracy.
Yeah.
They're on edge, they're anxious, like
Right.
they need to tell you in every instance of conversation, they need to tell you their suspicions at some point.
Yeah.
So like they've been like touched by the conspiracy too much. They've been exposed
Right.
to too much.
Therefore, they are deep fried into the
Right, and I say fried because it kind of like short circuits you a little bit.
Sure, yeah.
You know, knowing all that and like wanting and kind of being so paranoid, it makes you like kind of
your brain's not functioning normally.
Yeah. So that's the.
But it also
fried,
sounds kind of tasty.
I know.
Deep fried things are tasty, so it's but unhealthy. So there's
True. Deep fried. I tend to just keep it at fried.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. I think I'm thinking of like deep fried memes, which are like, if I had to describe the style, it's like the visuals are somewhat psychedelic, but in a very like low rent way.
Yeah, low vibration way too.
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
Like, it feels wrong to be viewing it.
Yeah. It's like staticky somehow. Like intentionally like bad production value, and like the humor is like somewhat like hostile.
It's hostile.
Yeah,
and it's also kind of like referential back to jokes from the internet previously. So it's like
yes, completely. Yeah,
only a deep fried person would know.
Right. So that to me that connects with the conspiracy thing, where it's like your mind's just only
that's true.
in
It's a
this
good point.
like ecosystem of like unhinged ideas.
Yeah, that's a good point. There's like, I mean, in my opinion, and this is kind of, I mean, we're getting further off our there's like deep fried videos now.
Oh, nice.
And not in terms of like production value and like effects, but just like the intention of what you want to film and put out feels deep fried to me.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if this counts, but are you familiar with Skibbity Toilet? No. It's like the biggest thing on YouTube. Like literally every video in this series has 100 million views. I think like every person under 15 knows about it.
Okay.
And it's just, I mean, I don't even know how to describe it. You just have to watch it. It's like a poorly animated thing. It looks like a cutscene from like a video game in like 1997. Wow. From like a PlayStation video game in 1997. It has that kind of like image quality. And it's like a weird like aggressive song, and it's just like an ugly guy jumping out of a toilet and like sort of scatting. And every video is like a minute long, and there's like a weird like arc, and there's been like 100 of them. It's the biggest thing that like kids know about. That to me that feels deep fried.
Yeah, that's fully deep fried.
But I guess I don't know, because it's so famous that I'm like,
well, that's
it's like
true.
mainstream kind of.
That is really interesting. Yeah.
And it's like, so I'll look at that and I'll be like, what the hell are Zoomers doing? But then I remember like there were some like really weird videos that I watched on like Newgrounds.
True.
And
Same.
like early internet stuff that was like very strange.
Yeah, me too.
That was like pretty formative to like the millennial sense of humor. So
yeah, that's a good point. So it's like, well, yeah, this is worth watching. The name is just making me laugh.
I know. No, I mean it's get on it. I think you might find things to enjoy. Right. Should we move on to business?
Yeah.
This is we don't have to talk about this too long, and I didn't print out the whole article because it's pretty long. But
sure,
real estate developers are commissioning graffiti, so it's like street art and stuff. used to be something that lowered property value and made a neighborhood look like dangerous.
Yeah.
And now it's like developers in like Miami and Berlin and obviously the big New York, LA and stuff. They'll commission it on the side of their like new like condos.
Yeah.
What do you think about that?
Lame as fuck.
Very lame.
Lame as fuck.
This feels very post Banksy kind of phenomenon.
Yes. And here's an interesting thing. I just recently listened to an interview with Ben Solomon. Shout out Ben Solomon,
Who's that?
Legendary graffiti member of Iraq, which is like a graffiti crew in New York.
Nice. That's a good name for a graffiti crew.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is it spelled like the country?
No, it's IRAK.
Okay.
But he's just like a, fascinating. Now he's like a director, so he just has a cool career.
What does he direct?
Honestly, he's
Skibbity Toilet.
He made a documentary. I forget the name of it. He made a documentary about this like kind of New York City documentarian. This guy Clayton Patterson. I don't know if you've ever heard of him.
No, I haven't.
He takes a bunch of photos of just like people around New York. He's lived in like the Lower East Side with his wife since like the 70s or something.
Nice.
And he made a documentary about him and his wife. His wife's like a painter, like an artist. And then he just directs other stuff like, commercial stuff. And I think he's probably working on a movie at some point. It would be cool. Hopefully this reaches Ben Solomon. Shout out. But
we'd love to have you on the podcast.
True. He had someone mentioned like a similar idea of like a huge, like not necessarily a real estate developer, but a huge brand.
Yeah.
Hiring someone to do graffiti. And he's kind of like, well, I'll just hire a shitty graffiti writer, pay him some of what I made, and then just keep the money rather than like work for.
Oh wow! So
which is like a nice.
So he would keep
hustle.
the money, hire a shitty person to do the work. So then the company's like, all right, I guess.
Not even say.
Yeah,
just keep it hidden from him, and then
That's
just
funny.
like both people make money. But I mean, shout out to anybody who's
he's like giving someone work.
Yeah. So like obviously. It's lame in the set. Like I agree with you. The post Banksy, like that shit is lame.
Yeah.
I
like what you're talking about though. That's a nice way to get around it.
Yeah, I like that. And also, it's like make your money graffiti. It's like who pays for that shit? I mean, obviously people are paying now, but it's like I would imagine it takes away something of the spirit that graffiti is supposed to be about, right?
Yeah, it's so weird. I mean, I will say I never had a phase where I was like graffiti sick.
But
I think it's cool. Like street art is cool.
Yeah.
And I understand. But yeah, I just never had like a phase where I was like, I want to tag fucking buildings and
No, I feel you. I was never super duper into it. I did see a documentary a few years ago about Iraq.
Yeah.
And so one of the other like kind of founders or like original members, he was like one of the main characters in a section of this graffiti, and then there were a couple other people, but that made me appreciate it more at least. Yeah. And every once in a while there is like some stuff that I see that I'm like, it is I'm kind of like reverential, if that's the right word.
Right.
Like,
yeah,
I see it. I'm like, wow, this is really awesome.
Yeah.
Or like impressive or something. But I think it's more of like, yeah, I agree with you. But yeah, it's I don't know.
I will say that I think this is a tangent, but I was in Highland Park in LA last year.
Yeah.
And I forget if I told you about this, but there was a mural of Kobe, and it was a horrible likeness. It did not look like him at all.
Wait, I saw one.
It was pretty funny. It was like a very badly drawn Kobe, and it wasn't even like this guy's a bad artist because it like looked like a guy. It just didn't look like Kobe. But
it's just he had a Kobe jersey on.
Yeah, he had a Kobe jersey on, and it was like very reverential, and that made me laugh. I like that.
That is really funny. It's funny. Now I feel like it's possible that we saw the same one.
Yeah.
But also, I feel like there's a lot of Kobe murals around the city anymore.
And not all of them are going to be perfect.
Yeah, not all. Yeah. But I saw a bad one like a month ago.
It's really
LA.
good.
Yeah, it's so
like,
funny. And it's literally, I'm like, the guy has a Kobe jersey on, so I know it's him.
It's gotta be him. Yeah.
But it's
I'm trying to think of the right like celebrity who like someone would mistakenly draw me. It's like, yo, is that who's like Gus Fring from Breaking Bad?
Wait. Oh.
Yeah. It's like, is that Giancarlo Esposito, right?
Yes. Yeah. Yo, him and, yeah, dude.
We should Damon Wayans Jr.
We should do a Kobe mural of the Turkish Airlines.
Oh, dude. Fuck.
On like the side of like, see if like a barbershop will let us do the side.
Damn, dude, I just got sad.
I know. Yeah. that's the one.
That was
Kobe,
the best, dude.
That's the one Kobe image that I think of when I think of like LA. Like,
oh, for Kobe. Sure, yeah, and yeah, just me and Charles would walk by the Comedy Store in LA, and there was a massive Turkish Airlines billboard with Kobe, and we just always looked at it and laughed, and it's just this big fucking bald head.
It's
just smiling, and it's just like Turkish Airlines, and it's just like felt like a very random endorsement.
It's a really weird ad. It's
yeah.
first the other thing it's Kobe taking a selfie on the Great Wall of China.
Oh, that's yeah, that's funny too. Yeah,
and he's wearing shit that like I guess Kobe would wear. It's like a bright blue like puffy vest.
Yeah,
dude,
that would be so funny to do a mural of that. Somewhere in LA would have you.
I hope so, yeah. And just be like, this means a lot to, probably us specifically.
Yeah. Well, you can't do it in Glendale because of the Armenian community.
True. That's a good point.
Yeah, but there must be a Turkish community in LA somewhere.
Yeah. I feel like we could probably find it. Or, honestly, I mean, I feel like most of Southern California would have us.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I feel like Kobe reps.
Definitely.
I feel like LA is probably the place I'd prefer.
Right, of course.
But it would be funny to be in like Alhambra.
Yeah, dude, for sure. Yeah.
And do the mural.
There's like some nightmare place in like the Inland Empire.
What yeah.
I'm trying to think. There's like a Visalia. There you go. Or that's not. I guess that's not. That feels more like north.
Victorville.
Victorville. There you go.
Yeah, Victorville. Yeah. Dude, I remember people. No disrespect to Victorville. Shout out to the people of Victorville.
Yeah.
But I remember like one of my early experiences. I had someone tell me about Victorville and be like, "Don't go there. They do meth there."
Yeah.
And they make meth there.
Wow. Yeah.
So it's like
the producers of the country.
True.
Yeah.
Shout out to Victorville. I mean, obviously.
I mean, listen. I bet there's great people that are from there, but I'm guessing those people are like, I'm glad I don't live there anymore.
That's true. Also, if they'd have us for the mural, I'm down.
Yeah, no, listen, we'll go
Turkish Airlines mural.
We'll go beautify Victorville. If there's I think the reason I chose this story too because we talked about like the WeWork guy and his branded apartment.
Yes,
and
dude.
this feels in line with that.
You're right. This feels like I feel like Adam Newman saw this article and was like, "Oh, cool."
Yeah. Dude, yeah. So we'll get a branded apartment contract and do the Kobe Turkish Airlines mural.
Actually,
on
now
the side
I like
of
this.
It. Now we're in.
I really like this branded apartment, Kobe Turkish Airlines mural,
Yeah.
and then like what would be the fast casual in the bottom floor.
Oh, damn. Like what kind of business would be?
Yeah, or like food, like we've been talking, like just to tie this in with the food that we've been talking about.
Yeah, with some kind I mean, I guess it would be like some kind of like bar,
I know, well,
some kind of brewery.
That's the thing. It's like it would have to be some shit that is like of the moment and like under the guise of healthy, fast casual food.
Yeah,
but I would prefer it to be something not. I would prefer it to be Bojangles, but that's not in line.
It would be like a Salad Works that serves alcohol.
Goop Kitchen.
Oh yeah, there you go. We got it.
See,
All
this
right.
is.
Should we move on? Do you have anything else you want to say?
I mean, that's now my passion. But
dude, yeah, no, I know we're connecting and we're linking and building today. we got the Hibachi movie theater. Turkish Airlines branded apartment.
Wait, now I'm going to take notes. But
yeah, dude, the sheer fucking quantity of ideas that's flowing here.
We're fully cracked in building.
Oh, God, dude, cracked. Man, we got to talk about that someday.
Yeah,
but I think we'll loop back. We'll circle back around to Cracked later.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, music. What are you listening to recently?
Okay, I listened to actually. So, peek behind the curtain. Earlier, you were on a phone call.
Yeah.
I was folding laundry. I listened to 3-6 Mafia.
Oh, nice.
Their second album. It's very evil sounding.
What makes it evil sounding? Is it like synths that are like diabolical?
It's like synths
I like
and kind
that.
of like down tempo,
Nice, yeah.
lower. The first track is this intro, and they read Bible verses, and then a Bible verse attributed to 3-6 Mafia.
Oh, that's
and
nice.
it's in this. It's in like the. It came out in like the 90s, so it's like that of the moment monster sci-fi voice, that like weird kind of like double tracked. It's like
yeah.
But so it's read in that voice. And
I like
that's
that.
the intro. It's really cool.
Did they do that song for that movie with Terrence Howard? It's hard out here for a pimp or whatever.
Yeah,
that's them, right? Yeah, and that
Yes.
movie like
they won an Oscar for that song.
yeah, right. Hustle and Flow, is that the movie?
Yeah. So cool.
That's the only thing I know about them.
Yeah, but that is really cool.
That is
3-6
cool,
Mafia has an Oscar.
Yeah. You know who I'm pissed about having 2 Oscars is Billie Eilish. I don't like her songs. I think they're so boring.
Yeah, I am going to agree with you that I think it's kind of like probably overrated.
Yeah. You like her though?
Yeah, I think she's cool. Like,
Yeah.
I like her. That song she made for the Barbie soundtrack, I thought was like great.
I disagree. I don't like
You
that
didn't
song.
like
I
it?
think it's so boring.
I thought it was really good.
Yeah, I think it's so like mopey and
There's an epidemic of female musicians that have baby voice when they sing.
oh yeah,
And she
yeah,
kind of has that.
yeah.
And because it's so prevalent, it makes it hard to listen to for me. Like, I don't
Right.
enjoy it, even though there's great artists who do that.
Yeah.
It's just not for me. And
She has some crazy music videos.
Billie Eilish.
Yeah, she has
I don't
one
know
where
if I've
she's
ever
like,
seen them.
she's like. The only reason I saw this was because I made a Instagram video that I still think is funny. Celebrity Stanford prison experiment.
Oh yeah, wait, that is really funny.
Yeah, and I just like, and the whole joke was just like naming as many random celebrities as possible.
Oh yeah.
And then like, so I made it and then like chose like clips, tried to choose like as many clips as possible. So I was like browsing through like Billie Eilish music videos for one of those, and yeah, there's one where she's like drinking like a glass of like oil.
Whoa.
And I think it's meant to signify like a toxic relationship.
Oh, interesting.
So, you know, her aesthetic, she has a strong sense of aesthetics for sure. I guess I just find her music to be mopey and boring.
The music is often mopey and boring, I agree. And I honestly, I can't tell you, besides that song, I can't tell you the last one that I really liked. I fuck with her in the sense of like, I don't know, I kind of...
Very influential in fashion.
She has big clothes.
Yeah.
I kind of like that because it's like, I mean, she's an attractive woman, but, you know, she's like, I like that she's like, I'm going to go about my presentation my own way and wear the shit that I always liked wearing, which is big clothes.
That'd be funny if Cardi B started dressing like that, too.
Yo. Yeah, just big jean shorts.
Yeah.
Billie Eilish made she made high top. You'll hate these.
Yeah.
She made high top Air Force Ones.
Mm-hmm.
And they're regular laced, but then Velcro straps go all the way up.
Oh.
So yeah, I think people really didn't like them.
Yeah.
But like, I just remember seeing them come out, and like 2 different colors have come out, and I don't like them either.
Yeah, it's nuts.
I really don't like them.
Yeah. Someone does, and they're probably selling... Or no, do you think they're like not selling well because...
I don't know. The one thing that I do think is cool is that, and I mean, hopefully this isn't a gimmick. She doesn't strike me as somebody who would... she strikes me as somebody who would at least be aware about this, where she's like, let's not make it out of leather. That seems wasteful.
Yeah.
So it's made out of like discarded mushroom scraps.
Classic.
Which is very of
I mean,
the moment.
that's cool, I guess. Yeah.
I guess it's nice that it's like you're actually making it's under the guise of reusing. Who knows how much they're actually doing it?
Yeah. No, I mean, I like that in theory. That I like the idea that like it's not a good material to make shoes out of, though, and so it's like, yeah, my fucking mushroom shoes are rotting.
Well, that too. It's like, I'm sure Nike's probably Nike. I don't know anything about Billie Eilish, but Nike's mentality is probably a little more vicious than Billie Eilish. So they're probably like, let's put a little bit of leather.
Right.
Let's make them wearable. But yeah, I'm kind of in the same boat as you. It's like I don't really like her music that much.
But 3 6 Mafia, good.
Yeah,
I'll check them out. I should. I feel like I don't know anything about them, and they're a pretty
it's just
famous and influential group.
It's like fun, scary, dirty music.
I like that.
Which is
That's
just
nice. Yeah,
it's like it feels like more punk than it feels punk adjacent.
That's cool.
Which is
what's the
nice.
3 6 mean?
666.
Oh, duh!
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah,
so
dude.
that is evil.
They're demonic.
Wow.
Yeah.
I assumed it was like some sort of local reference.
No, it's true. Yeah, and maybe it is. Maybe it's like a double thing. I
Right.
always just understood it to be
I like that.
Yeah, devil mafia.
That's sick.
Which is sick.
Is their second album?
It's the second one. Let me because I have it queued up. Let me just get the name of it. So
Yeah, nice.
it's also got a really great cover. Oh, the album's called When the Smoke Clears.
That's a good album title.
Yeah, and
the cover is I can't really see it that well. It's like
it looks like a comedy flyer, like a black comedy flyer.
Yeah.
But it's just like it just came from a time when it was like no one really cared about rap. It's like rap was not.
Well, like 90s
the
rap
music
album
of-
covers are busy.
Yeah.
There's a lot of stuff
That's
going
true
on
too.
them. Yeah.
This is like that's actually a good point. This is
Yeah.
like kind of a template
Right,
of that
yeah.
era, or like emblematic of that era. But it's just like it's clearly like it's kind of done all in house. Like the pictures of all of them
Yeah.
are not good.
Yeah, I like that.
It looks like one of the guys isn't ready for the picture.
That's funny.
So it's like I've been enjoying that. So that's been nice.
That's nice, yeah.
Yeah, how
I'm
about you?
listening to Obzen by a metal band called Meshuggah.
Okay.
They're like very like technical.
Yeah, I've heard that name before.
Yeah, they're
And
good. I went to see them in Philly a couple years ago, and I think
That's
I was
right.
like telling you about that.
Yeah, the name of the album is really cool. What is it? What is it?
I believe it is. I mean, honestly, I think the name of the album is. I think metal's great, but it has corny aesthetics a lot. The name of the album is like obscene but zen.
Whoa!
Obscene, obzen. Yeah,
course.
it's like kind of like a pun. I guess.
Yeah.
Amazing band though. I mean, yeah, really like it sounds like you're like trapped inside of a computer.
Damn.
That's like gonna kill you. That's like the.
Whoa.
They're rhythmically really intense. It's like the big thing is that like they're fucking around with a lot of different time signatures. The drums are very like overwhelming, but also super consistent.
Wow.
But then the riffs are in these like weird, odd, off-kilter rhythms that are sort of hard to follow along with. But there's a very driving beat, and it's like it's cool, really cool.
Sounds awesome.
Yeah, so I'm enjoying that a lot.
I really like that.
Good to run. Good music to run to.
Yeah.
I've been doing that a lot.
I like that a lot. Yeah, that
Yeah.
sounds. Every once in a while, I need like more high energy, up tempo stuff to like get me going.
Yeah, I've been fucking up by listening to like podcasts while I work out. I'm like, what am I doing? This is so like sleepy.
I've like tried to do that, and sometimes for a run it kind of works, but
yeah, I think it's just I don't know. Music like is much more.
It's more
just
motivating.
pumps you up, and I think it pushes you through the boredom of working out.
Yes,
And,
most definitely.
And a podcast is like, especially when it's like there's an ad that plays.
I know.
And it's like all your motivation crumbles.
It's true, because like I agree. Now's probably the time we should tell about our sponsors.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Dude, but no, I agree. It does.
We're gonna do some good ass ad reads one day, dude.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to.
Dude, I was telling you about Bill Simmons earlier.
Yeah.
He's like the master of ad reads.
Really?
I mean, I like he's just so good at sounding locked in.
Yeah, that's cool.
Being like,
today's sponsor, Miller Lite. You know, when I'm
So
watching
good.
the game, my wife's in the other room. I love a light beer. You know, and
He like really is good at like integrating the subject of his, you know,
Into his
content
life.
to
Yeah.
the product in a way that's like
Dude.
kind of psychotic.
Yeah, it's true, but that is like that's that's a great broadcaster though.
Yeah,
to
no,
be
I
like-
mean that's why you got that
and that's-
Spotify deal.
It's very old school too.
Yeah,
You
that's
know, it's
true.
like-
That's true. It is.
It's yeah, that's cool. There is I do have an appreciation for people who are like good at it.
Yeah,
Even
I feel
though
like
it's,
Rogan's a
like-
pretty good ad reader.
Yeah, I guess I haven't listened to the podcast in a while, but
I'm
he does it.
I'm unfortunately kind of back on it.
He does it at the beginning, right?
No, now he does it throughout.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I think it's also because most of it is supplements. So it's like that's already
It's in his world. Yeah.
it's in the world. Yeah.
You know, also shout out to Kevin Ryan and H. Foley. They're really good at it.
Oh, I didn't. Yeah.
I listen to their podcast here and there. Are You Garbage?
Yeah.
Shout out to Kevin and Foley. Even though I don't know Foley, but
No, yeah,
I know
great
Kevin.
guys. Happy
Yeah,
for them.
awesome guys. But they're old school in a way of like they're really good at broadcasting and
Yeah,
like,
that's nice.
So they do their ads. They're really good at it. But I agree. It's like I still bristle at an ad read in a podcast when I'm doing anything.
Dude, sometimes a podcast ad. Well, sometimes it's like the podcaster does the ad read. Sometimes it's just like a commercial.
Right.
That's not
Dynamic ad stitching.
Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
Whoa, where'd you learn that?
One of my friends helps like produce and edit like a very popular podcast.
Yeah, dynamic ad stitching.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Isn't that a great term?
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like sometimes it glitches in some way, so the same commercial will play 4 times in a row. It's insane.
That sucks. And that's like
That's like that like could be a form of torture.
yes.
It's like how they made like Al Qaeda guys listen to, you know, Metallica, like make like a North Korean,
Yo.
you know, listen to like 16
Yeah, it's true.
16 like Airbnb commercials in a row or something.
That might be the new thing for like wherever the new Guantanamo is.
Yeah. Because it is like, because they're so cloying,
Yeah.
and the music's very manipulative and like kind of like, it's like it's so weird how commercials work because they do like hit your pleasure centers in various ways. It's like sugar. It's like visual audio sugar.
Yeah.
And it's like, but you know that it's like stupid,
Mm-hmm.
so you're like sort of rejecting it. But then the more it plays, the more it sort of breaks you down, and you're like, oh, this part of the ad, and like, oh, like the narrator's voice kind of goes up here, like there's like an ad for Kerrygold butter,
Okay.
and it's just like Kerrygold's butter is only in Ireland. It's like that's the tone. It's very like kind of like maternal and sensual,
Yeah.
and it has like really like soft acoustic music behind it.
Ooh.
And like every time I hear it, it's like I just like feel like uncomfortable strings are being plucked within me.
That's a very kind of in-depth analysis.
I know, maybe that's too revealing.
No. I
Yeah.
know I like that because I think people often just put up with ads because they've been with us since like they're
Yeah,
everywhere,
forever, for
You know,
sure,
so
yeah.
it's like, and people kind of just like put up with it, but it's like I bet more often than not people are like fucking commercials, like
Yeah.
So having an actual like reflection on it that is articulated is, I think, important. So,
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, this is what the consumer is
Yes,
experiencing. You know, and you know, advertising is psychological manipulation
it's true.
to make you
I know.
complete a transaction.
Yeah, I fuck with a good ad.
What's your favorite ad?
I think I might have to tell you off air.
Oh, okay.
But it's one of our friends did it, and yeah, it's
Okay, nice.
Nothing. Yes, I'll have
Yeah.
to tell you after. But
I like there's one that's like I feel like a fucking loser saying this, but there's these ads of like It's like it's like, you know, some insurance company, and the whole joke is like, this is what happens when you become your parents, and it's like,
oh yeah,
you know that one?
Yes.
And I like those just because they're quiet. Like there's not, it's
Actually,
just
yes.
There's sort of low key, like mild sketch comedy type premise, and the acting's pretty good, and I'm like not like angry when those come on.
Yeah, I also like I kind of like, I guess it's kind of annoying, but I kind of like a subversive advertisement, like you snuck in a product as like a, you know what I mean? Like
I think I do, but I'm not sure I agree with you that I like that.
Yeah. I'm like, oh, that's clever, and it's like, I guess he made money off this,
right?
And it's like, if you actually use the product, then I guess, but
sarcastic ads suck.
Yeah, I don't like sarcastic ads.
Like Oatly does that a lot, where it's like, this is where we're gonna talk to you about the, you know, it's like it's
very
all like,
eye rolly.
Yeah,
I don't like that.
Because what happens when you get Zoomers into, you know, I mean, I guess
True.
millennials, but
that's probably most of the people at these agencies
for
nowadays,
sure,
because
absolutely, yeah.
You know, these people are on the way they're on the road to being deep fried.
Yeah.
So we need to give them.
But it's an old phenomenon. I mean, it goes back to Gen X, I think, like probably earlier than that.
Sarcasm ads?
Sarcastic ads, yeah.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Like David Foster Wallace has a brilliant essay, whose name I forget, but it's about watching a Pepsi commercial that is like self-aware and sort of like making fun of itself for being a Pepsi commercial.
Wow.
And he just writes these, and I don't exactly remember the specific points he made, but I just remember the feeling that he evoked of like this despair of watching this commercial and really being inside of it and like trying to like parse through the logic of it, and like what it means, and feeling very nihilistic after it, and it's a great piece of writing that I relate to a lot.
Yeah, I would like to read that. I don't know. I guess I haven't, because it doesn't sound familiar. But
yeah, I'll look for it and send it to
really
you
cool.
and possibly discuss it on mic later.
Yeah, I would love to.
When speaking of which, let's talk about what we're reading. Are you still reading the Norman Mailer book?
Yeah.
Is it still good?
Yeah, it's still pretty good. It's kind of neat. So it's gotten to a point where now he's kind of like, from what I'm picking up, he's like chronicling these people that he's encountering in this weird town.
Yeah.
And that's kind of neat.
Right.
I'm more interested in that than whoever the narrator of this book is. Like, you know, like kind of, there's a point where he kind of told his own story a little bit. Yeah. But now he's just kind of like, it's kind of him going about his life, and then it's like, there's this person, here's an account of this. So it's like, that's kind of fun.
Okay, nice.
It's kind of, because it kind of taps into what you said last time of like him being better at nonfiction.
Right.
So it feels like the narrator, even though it's fiction, it's like the narrator is reporting on these characters. So it's
that's cool. Yeah, it's like fictional journalism.
Yeah,
almost. Yeah, like a fictional profile.
Right. So I kind of like that. That's been fun to read.
That's cool.
And it is like neat. You know, the guy's like, it feels like he's divulging something to you by being like, here's a story I heard about this guy.
And then here's a different question. Okay, what's a book that you read in your life that changed the way you think of the world in some way? Like changed your mind, opened your brain to something. Can you think of one? And you can ponder that, and I'll tell you about.
Yeah, please tell me. I might have to ponder.
Okay, the book I'm reading now is The Maniac by Benjamin Labatut. First of all, maniac, great word.
Yeah, it really is.
It's like very New York Post. That's not the way it's being used in this book,
right,
but I
but
made
it's
like
true.
A crazed maniac.
Yeah.
Sex maniac.
Yeah,
liberal sex maniac, Harvey Weinstein. A photo revealed of sex maniac Harvey Weinstein with Hillary Clinton. That, you know, like
so good.
Yeah.
It's really great.
This is a fictional. This is a novel about John von Neumann, who is a mathematician who worked on the Manhattan Project and founded game theory.
Ooh.
The economic math, like the kind of math behind a lot of economics, I guess.
Yeah.
Pretty good. I've read this writer before. He wrote a book called When We Cease to Understand the World. His big thing he likes to write about is scientists who came up with new ways of thinking about the world, like quantum physics, stuff like that.
Yeah.
And his big scene that he likes to write is like a weird genius guy, like writing a bunch of equations and like losing his mind.
Wow.
That's like a thing that comes up over and over and over again in his writing.
Whoa.
Which is pretty fun. At times it's overwrought, you know?
Sure.
Like, because it's kind of the same thing over and over again of like, and then this crazy genius came up with this revolutionary way of thinking about matter, and he stayed up all night writing the equations, and he had nightmares, and he had a dream where the multiplication sign, it's like it's just like it's nonstop stuff like that.
Yeah,
which I like. I enjoy that, but it gets a little bit taxing. But I think that the John von Neumann is like a very interesting person. I read a biography of him before reading this, so I know. Is that
what led you to this?
I think so. Yeah, it was kind of like I actually was in reverse. I saw this book and was like, oh, that looks cool, and then I was like, I want to like read a real book about him to just like know the facts before I read the novel.
Right. That is an interesting idea of like a fictional, or not necessarily fictional. It's like a real
person, but it's a novel about him. Yeah, for sure. People talk about that a lot with this guy's books. They're like, it's in a ambiguous liminal space between fiction and nonfiction, but really what it is historical fiction. Yeah, which is just an existing genre that people read. But I'm liking it. It's good.
That sounds cool.
And I also this guy's just interesting because it's like it's like his first thing was he wrote like a book about quantum physics in his 20s that sort of unified a lot of the field. Then he worked on the Manhattan Project, and he was in charge of figuring out the math behind the implosion of the plutonium bomb, I believe. So making sure that it imploded evenly. I think he was the one who came up with the idea of dropping the bombs in the air above Hiroshima and Nagasaki instead of like on the ground to maximize their destructive potential. Whoa. So he not like a peacenik. Yeah, very comfortable with war.
But something, I know. Something also strikes me. Just the description of this guy. Yeah. Also, it's like, it sounds like he also is just like so locked in about the math.
Yes.
Being like, this is the most optimal use of the equation. And it just so happens that it's the most destructive.
And I believe a lot of those guys were like that. They were just excited about the math and the science of it. And he's the big thing about him too is that he was just like Einstein was like, this is the smartest person I've ever met.
Whoa!
Like he was just this like weird prodigy. He could like multiply like 8-digit numbers in his head when he was a kid. Stuff like that. Damn. But anyway, after the bomb, comes up with game theory. Essentially invents computers.
That's pretty incredible.
And then worked for the Rand Corporation, consulted for the Rand Corporation, and they were, they're all about like game theory, in the context of geopolitics. And this goes back to so I'm reading this book today, and it's talking about mutually assured destruction, and the game theoretical idea that it's this like weird tactic that we're going to use to get as many nukes as possible, so that they get as many nukes as possible, and then if they use one against us, we're going to use one against them, and then we're going to destroy each other. So this is actually more peaceful. And I was reading about that, and then the earthquake happened. So that was just like a weird
fucking trip.
Yeah. But it's a great book. I'm enjoying it a lot.
That's cool.
Yeah.
This whole kind of nuclear weapon, the history is, I think, like the stuff you're reading is the most interesting thing to me. Like I think at the moment I'm not really interested in like the whole politics and like this kind of secretive game that allegedly these countries are playing and stuff. But like the history and like the portraits of like the people who were like working on these things is like really fascinating.
Yeah, a lot of fascinating people worked on this stuff.
Yeah, for real. very odd, very smart men, secretive. Like it's just it's kind of a cool thing to take a peek into.
This is a random in the 80s. There was a Soviet. I guess he was a scientist. Mm-hmm. There was like a Soviet guy who worked at a like nuclear weapon detection facility, and he got an alarm that America was sending nukes to the Soviet Union, and he was like, okay, I have the option now to alert my superiors. If I do, it is almost certain that they will nuke the U.S. and nuclear war will be started.
Whoa!
And
dude.
he decided that there's something about this that feels like it's not, like it's an incorrect signal, like the computer's wrong, and it was.
God.
And so he just took the leap and was like, I'm just not going to report this because I think the computer's wrong, and it turned out it was.
Whoa, dude!
So he saved the world from
Holy
nuclear war.
shit!
Yeah. It's really crazy. I wish I could remember his name, but it's like it's an insane story.
Oh my God, that's amazing.
I know. Yeah, the fact that it was just like this dude
up to a guy.
Yeah, unbelievable.
Wow, that's so cool.
I know. Yeah,
hero.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, no, for sure.
More Burger Kings for us.
I know. Yeah. Let's move on to social media nonsense. Actually, well, let me ask real quick. Can you think of a book that?
Yes.
Yeah, tell me.
There's a book. It's on my shelf. I haven't read it in a few years, but it's called The Way to Love.
Oh, nice.
And
by who?
I don't remember his name, but it's like written. It's like a priest or like some religious man.
Nice. I'm stepping over here. Talk about it, and I'm going to see if I can.
It might be on the top shelf. It's a small book.
Anthony DeMello.
Anthony DeMello. It may not even be like a priest or something. I kind of like can't remember. I mean, I think the name is explanatory in the sense that it's like it kind of expands upon individual's capacity to like love another person, and it's kind of like a guide for that a little bit.
That's nice.
But
it's a beautiful idea.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it's like that's, if I think of one, that's the one that kind of like changed.
And did it teach you something, or did it reflect something you already knew?
I think it probably taught me something, probably something more about like tolerance or, love for a person, or how, like, there's how love for somebody manifests itself in like your actions and how you treat someone, or like how you react to stuff they do, or I think it probably just taught me that there's a whole bunch of different things you can do, I guess.
That's really nice.
Yeah. That's a great book.
How'd you get turned on to it?
My friend gave it to me.
Nice.
My friend like had it and was like, "You seriously, you never heard about this? Check this out." And it's a good one. How about you? Do you have one?
Probably, yes. But you know what? Okay, the Mars trilogy by Kim Stanley Robinson, science fiction trilogy.
Yes,
that is about people colonizing Mars over the course of like 300 years. And I just loved it. I don't know how it changed the way I think. I guess it gave me an appreciation for like the materials. How do I put it? He writes about. He's like a very like hard. They call it hard sci-fi, where it's like very like research heavy.
Oh, that's
very
cool.
Like the science is like technically correct.
Yeah, that's
and
cool.
It's like it's not like and so it sounds kind of boring, right? Like,
right.
But so that was the first book like that I'd read. But what was exciting about it is that Kim Stanley Robinson is incredible at linking that stuff where he's writing about the formations of mountains on Mars and the geological forces that caused a certain rock to look the way it did, and being incredibly granular about that. And he extends that to a person's mind and the way that a person's mind works. And so he kind of reduces psychology to matter in a way, and the way that matter works, and the way that physics work. But he does it without, it's not unromantic. It's not like, we're just like puddles of flesh that are
right.
It's like he has this passage at one point that I'll just never forget, which is about how it's the scientists thinking about the way that people thought about the mind throughout history.
Yeah.
The Freudians compared it to like a steam engine, and then later people compare it to a computer. And essentially the point is that people just compare the mind to whatever the newest technology is.
Yeah.
And it's like Freudians are like, oh, it's like suppression and vents, and
right.
it's like because steam was like what they were working with. Then now people think the brain is a mind, or people think the brain is a computer and he was just like, no, but what is it? It's none of that. And then he thinks maybe it's weather. Maybe it's like the mind is like, different systems of weather come and I don't know. And that I think about that sometimes when I get like sad or depressed for a few days. I'm like, yeah, there's like a cloud, and then it's like feels like it clears.
Cool.
So that
is so cool.
Yeah, I mean,
Kim Stanley Robinson.
Yeah, amazing writer. The Mars trilogy. It's like some of the best shit I've ever read.
Wow, sounds awesome.
Yeah. So let's move on to social media nonsense. First thing I got is Ben Shapiro's sister has large breasts.
So sick. That's so sick.
It is sick, yeah. She's like a mom, like a trad mom influencer.
Ooh.
Yeah, and people are just constantly posting pictures of her.
I know what I'm doing later.
Yeah.
Follow and like every post. That's cool. So, okay, did she become an influencer post Shapiro?
Probably, yeah. I imagine that. Yeah, I think
like,
his fame. I think his fame helped her, and she's got large breasts, and people that don't like Ben Shapiro are constantly posting pictures of her, like at him.
Oh man, I didn't know about that. That's awesome.
Yeah, it is pretty nice. And then the second thing I had was it says hot girl posting incorrect things about Black Sabbath. Okay, so Black Sabbath, my favorite band ever. The first 6 Black Sabbath albums are like the Bible to me musically. Do you like Black Sabbath?
I love them.
Yeah, they're so good.
Yeah.
Anyway, this fucking hot Twitter girl posted a screenshot of her listening to Paranoid and said some bullshit like the vibes are immaculate, or which you said earlier this episode, and I like it. I like when you say it, but I don't like when she said it. She's like, and then that got like a ton of attention because just anytime like a hot girl listens to like dude music, it's like, oh my god,
right, true.
And then she posted something about how Black Sabbath is so funny because Tony Iommi, the guitarist, is so obviously better than the other people in the band, and it's just like that's like not true at all.
Yeah,
it's like completely false. Like it's like that's like the whole like Geezer Butler, the bassist, and Bill Ward, the drummer, were like locked in as fuck, and then I was like laughing at myself, like being mad about this because it's just like a classic like girl wearing like a shirt, and you're like, what do you know about that band?
Yeah,
this was like the Twitter version of that, but it did really it did really rattle me.
It did, yeah. It's like irritating. I mean, I totally get that too, where it's like just it's like the song is irrelevant.
Yeah.
In this, but you're just taking it a little bit further because it's like people are, whoa, that's crazy. You like Black Sabbath because you're so hot.
I know.
How could that be?
Yeah, and like, oh, that's so smart that you would notice that.
It's like, dude, it's all out there. It's like but I think she probably, I don't know. I'm under the impression this person's probably addicted to posting.
Oh yeah.
There's a little people like this Black Sabbath thing. Let me keep going.
Absolutely.
Here's an incorrect opinion.
That's exactly what it was. Yeah. And listen, people are allowed to be wrong. And
Sure.
and there are plenty of incredibly helpful guys in the comments. Like just kind of like giving her some helpful feedback on her opinion, and
You know, it's you know what I like about it's certainly more annoying, but I like about the name 5 albums or 5 songs from this band if you're wearing that shirt. Like I like that in person better, because if you just say this on the internet, it's very easy to ignore, especially in the avalanche of
for sure.
Sick. You're not getting checked.
Yeah, I know. No, for sure.
You wear the shirt, someone might check you.
And it's interesting. I think it's like wearing the shirt. I almost don't mind, because metal aesthetics are just a part of culture now.
Yeah, nowadays it's
and it's like, that's fine. Like it's cool. The images are cool.
Yeah, the people who designed the logos all did a good job.
Yeah, I think what it is that she was specifically talking about the music. She was like, I'm listening to this music.
That's a good point.
So I'm like, I know
now.
this. And then she was wrong.
Mm-hmm. You should. Now this is the thing. You should.
I might log on right after we stop recording.
Say, you should DM her and be like, "May I call you?"
Yeah. hello, dear. I'd like to speak. Yeah. I'd like to speak on your recent opinion. Do you have any social media nonsense that's been ticking you off?
It's not social media, but I got a spam email.
Oh, dude, tell me about it.
I got a spam email. But now, here's actually very interesting.
Yeah. A
lot of student loan activity in my email.
Sorry to hear that.
Inbox.
That's very stressful. You had the class action lawsuit that you're...
I'm potentially getting paid.
That's
dude.
great.
I'm potentially getting like $3, which is sick. But I got another email. So that one, okay, the first one I saw, that wasn't the first one I saw.
Yeah.
The first one I saw was someone else being like, hi, I'm emailing you from the student loan department. It looks like you are now eligible for the student loan forgiveness program. And when I first read it, I was like, oh, maybe.
Yeah.
I've seen... Now, I've been under the impression I'm not the whole time.
Right.
Because I've done the research. I'm like, I'm not eligible
and
for
this, or you're talking about Biden's... Yeah.
So I'm like, I've done the research. I'm not eligible. Seeing this email is like, maybe something changed. And then the next one was like, you have one day to get back to me before I...
Oh, yeah. Dude, that is a diabolical spam...
Isn't it?
Yeah, that's really bad.
It's a truly fucked up... Because the other thing is like, I don't know. I mean, I guess that's just a way in. So,
no, for sure. And, so much spam is like only old people fall for it. But it's like that's a smart way to get young people to fall for it.
I know.
Yeah.
Because it's like, here's the promise of your debt being
erased. Right.
But, so that one, and once I read that last sentence, I was like, this evil motherfucker.
Yeah.
So that, but, that was the...
Yeah, that sucks.
I know.
Was the email written in a funny way, or just pretty...
It wasn't even that crazy.
Yeah.
There was a part that I found funny at the end. Let me find it. And I'll say who it's from too. Elias Ford.
That's a good... Yeah,
I know.
That's a good name.
Elias Ford at Hotmail.
Yeah, I mean, wow.
So... Your case number is whatever, and your file will remain open in my system for only one more day. If you could please give your dedicated eligibility line a call.
That's good. Yeah.
Dedicated eligibility line.
Yeah.
It's too wordy.
Yeah, they're always wordy. I mean, that's they're fluffing up their spam with like fancy verbiage. Elias Ford, that's good. I like that's like it's biblical.
Yes, right.
Yeah.
It's truly. It sounds like a snake oil Bible salesman or whatever.
Absolutely.
So yeah, that's my spam nonsense that I've been getting.
Yeah. Well, I'm sorry to hear
today.
that.
Thanks, man.
Word of the week: bricked up / rocked up. Both to mean boner. To be erect.
I was bricked up at her picture until I saw her opinion on Black Sabbath.
Perfect use of it, right? Yeah.
Yeah, may I have it in the sentence?
Yeah. Do you like bricked up or rocked up better?
I mean, Honestly, Rocked Up I haven't heard really.
Yeah, I think
Bricked Up is like the
I was,
prevailing.
Yeah, Bricked Up is the one I've heard more. I was a friend of mine who grew up in New York City said, "Oh yeah, we used to say Rocked Up all the time in school," and I enjoy that.
I like Rocked Up.
Yeah, I think like Bricked Up has like a better sound because it's got like it's got that strong beat, you know.
It's so good.
It's very funny. Yeah,
both of them are so good. But
I don't know. I don't know like where they originated. I first heard Bricked Up on like Reddit. Like, yeah, like people talk about LeBron's abs. Like they're like, "Yo, Paul, no, you know, whatever, no homo." I'd be getting bricked up looking at LeBron's like workout pics or something like that.
Yeah. I will say I like it in this. Okay, I like using Bricked Up.
Yeah.
But then rock. Just rock.
Just rock. Wait, so yeah, can you
So like I'm rock.
Oh, in meaning like I like
I'm
that.
Bricked Up.
I'm bricked up. I'm rock. That's good. That's because that's like so base, like debased. It's like I am my boner. Like I am that. It's not like an attribute that I have. It's like what I am. It's my identity. I like that. That's good.
Rocked Up is
could you use I am brick? I'm brick right now.
Sure. Yeah. I'm brick.
Dude, I am brick right now.
I like.
That's pretty good too. Yeah.
It feels like too short of like a sentence or something, but I like that.
I'm brick or I'm rock.
It's like I'm brick.
Yeah, I like that. No, I think that works.
But
and I don't know if you've watched Jacqueline Novak's newest special. It's all about giving blowjobs. It's like her quest to like give a good blowjob. It's very good.
Yeah.
And but she has a whole thing about how like the names for like erect penises are like not very accurate. She was like erection is too like it's a very good line. It's like erection is too architectural of a word for what that is, and and it is true. It's like it's it's not like an actual hard thing. It's like a soft thing that becomes hard temporarily.
Yeah.
When I think I'll never forget this in sex ed. Like first learning the anatomy of like an erection. I just remember it's like the penis becomes engorged with blood.
Damn.
And I just engorged with blood is like
that's Catholic school shit.
Dinging around in my fucking brain. Yeah. it was just like suburban public school, not
I know,
like
it's just so like
engorged with blood. Yeah.
Jesus, man.
It does make it sound really scary.
Yeah, it's so very scientific. Keeps you away from.
Yeah, I mean, and it makes it sound like a leech.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Damn, I hate that.
Yeah, but that's anyway. Brick.
I guess it's scientifically accurate, but it's just...
It's pretty good. Wait, I had a word I wanted to mention earlier that I don't remember. It was something with rack that I was going to circle back to, but I can't remember. That's okay.
Bricked Up is nice, though.
Bricked Up is great.
You for sharing that.
Of course, yeah. Do you have a word you'd like to shout out?
I forgot it, but I had one. Maybe it'll come to me.
Okay, yeah.
I
might come
had
to
it earlier today.
All right. Should we read poetry?
Yeah.
All right. So this is Emily Dickinson.
Nice.
What do you think of Emily Dickinson? Do you have any? Her. Yeah, you like her.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously she's very famous. I didn't really have like a relationship with her work at all.
Yeah.
But I just was like, let's give this a try.
Nice.
This is, by the way, I'm enjoying reading poetry on this show because it introduces me to writers who I never otherwise had given much of a thought to. So
this is a nice aspect. I will say also, April is historically National Poetry Month. That's right. Yeah. So
well, that's nice. Great.
National Poetry Month.
Okay, so this is called "There's a Certain Slant of Light." I guess a lot of her poems were untitled, so this is just named the first line. Yeah. Okay. There's a certain slant of light, and slant is capitalized for whatever reason. There's a certain slant of light, winter afternoons, that oppresses like the heft of cathedral tunes. Heavenly hurt it gives us. We can find no scar, but internal difference where the meanings are. None may teach it. 'Tis the seal despair. An imperial affliction sent us of the air. When it comes, the landscape listens. Shadows hold their breath. When it goes, 'tis like the distance on the look of death. What do you think of this poem?
I really like it.
I really like it as well.
Yeah.
What do you like about it?
Well, I feel like everything I can't even remember. I feel like I've read a Emily Dickinson book or books or maybe her poetry or maybe a book of just a bunch of whatever I've read, but there's always been like she gives off like a vibe of like loneliness, like an air of loneliness. And this is kind of like no different.
Definitely.
But I like I like how she articulated, like, it's a very small part of a day that she's talking about, and like how much comes from like viewing this one, like what reflections you have. And
yeah, for sure. It's this like, it's a moment that's temporary but has these sort of eternal implications.
Yeah.
And eternal reverberations.
Mm-hmm. And it's a very solitary act.
Yeah, definitely.
So it's that kind of fits the loneliness.
And it's just an awesome bummer of a poem.
It's true. Yeah,
it's like you ever like want to, like, you ever like look at the daylight and want to kill yourself? Let me write about this like beautifully.
Yeah.
To the point, and it's so convincing. It's like, because like, I don't know. I think I know what she's talking about.
Yes.
Yeah, the idea. Yeah. It's like a late on a winter day, and you're just like, fuck.
Yeah, I know.
What the fuck?
I know.
Yeah,
dude, fully. Yes, I can see it.
What's your favorite line? Can you find one in this that?
Yeah, let's see.
I mean, it's a great opening. There's a certain slant of light.
Yeah, I kind of.
It's very conversational.
Yeah, and I kind of really like that, and I like, for whatever reason, and I think it's just capitalizing the S is like, there's something kind of mysterious about that.
Yeah, mysterious and sort of religious about it.
Yes.
And, it says it oppresses. Also, I like the idea of cathedral tunes are oppressive.
Yeah.
Because I think,
heavy.
and I listen, I didn't grow up Catholic, so I don't have like, but I went to like a Catholic wedding,
mm-hmm.
and it was the first one I had been to, and I was like, Jesus fucking Christ, this is like dour as hell. This feels like a funeral.
Yeah, man. Yeah, they
just the weight of like the venue and it's like heavy.
It's so heavy. It's
ponderous. The weight of eternity.
Yeah, for sure.
So I like that aspect of it.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think when it comes, the landscape listens.
I was going to say that one too. Yeah, that one's great as well. That was my second one. It does a very good job of like being. It's like an interesting poem that obviously leaves a lot up to the reader, which is nice, but it's also like very descriptive in how little it's giving you. Like, it is telling, like, it's very clear, like,
for sure,
this is what this is about. There's not.
It's this particular time of day,
yeah.
And here's how I feel about it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's short. It's short, but really evocative.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's successfully depicting a moment and a feeling and a worldview, all in like 4 stanzas. Good rhyme scheme too.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's not too.
Yeah, I like. I mean, there's also there's like more stuff that's capitalized in here that's just like unique
and I wonder if that's just the style of the time or if that was her own idiosyncratic way of writing.
That's a good question.
Because she also has a lot of like weird like dashes.
Right.
And I don't know like how I was like, as I was reading it, I was like, I don't know what inflection to give this part.
I think the dashes might be like, well, maybe I'm wrong. I actually don't know.
Because, for example, when it comes, the landscape listens, dash, shadows, dash, hold their breath, dash.
Yeah.
When it goes, 'tis like the distance on the look of death, dash. And that it ends with a dash is very interesting.
Yeah, it's weird.
It's like an unfinished thought.
Yeah.
Which I guess is kind of like what death is. It's like when you die, it's like you probably had more living to do unless you were like incredibly sick.
True. Yeah. This is a good one to bring here.
It's awesome. Oh, I love it. Yeah. It makes me want to read more of her stuff.
Yeah, thank you for sharing this one.
Of course, yeah. Do you have any last thoughts about there's a certain slant of light?
Just imperial affliction is a cool.
That is very cool. Yeah. Yeah, none may teach it any. 'Tis the seal despair, an imperial affliction sent us of the air. Actually, I will say, like, the middle 2 paragraphs or stanzas, I have a harder time understanding.
I agree.
but I like them.
Yeah, they're
Heavenly hurt it gives us. Okay, heavenly hurt, I understand that. It's like cosmic suffering. Again, what an amazing idea.
Yeah, I know.
It's like heaven's hurting you. Like it's like you
Yeah,
believe
true.
in God and you know that God wants to give you pain. Inflict pain on you. We can find no scar, but internal difference where the meanings are. That's very puzzling to me. I guess it's like, I think after like a few readings, I think what it means is like that depressing winter light doesn't like physically injure you,
Right.
but it injures you internally, and that internal injury is where you find meaning.
Yes.
The way that like,
yeah, I'm kind of.
does that make sense?
Yeah. No, I'm kind of with it. Yeah, I that makes sense to me.
Yeah, it's like the way that like God gives you pain is how you can find meaning out of life.
Right.
Which is incredibly depressing.
It is,
but
yeah,
possibly
like,
true.
Yeah, it causes you to like reflect.
Yeah.
And like kind of be more introspective or something.
Yeah.
And that is where you can like come up with something.
I know, yeah, it's awesome. I love this poem. It's like,
yeah,
you ever look at the sky in December and know that you're going to die, and isn't that cool?
I know. It's a great. I mean, yeah. I think most people who've experienced like a winter afternoon,
especially, and she's from
Massachusetts.
Yeah, from Amherst, I guess, or something. Yeah, so it's like. Yeah, Western Massachusetts, which Mary's from Western Massachusetts. And
yes.
It's a very beautiful place,
yeah.
but in the winter is quite intensely frigid and like harsh.
Yeah. So yeah, it's like I feel like most people who have experienced that can probably resonate with this and be like, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. Hell yeah, dude.
With a banger.
I know, that is a banger. Okay, last is miscellaneous. All I have here is trees in New York City are soft.
I was curious about
Here's
this.
what I mean. When I walk my dog, I go by these trees, and on the trees, there's these little signs taped up. They're like, "Excuse me, thanks for stopping here with your little puppy friend, with your little one, but just want to let you know that pee and poo are toxic to my roots." Sometimes it's like from the tree's point of view. It's like,
that's bullshit.
If you pee, it's going to hurt me, and trees are really important for the air, and I always get mad.
Yeah, that I do find that annoying, and that's not how it went. Like, I don't know. Trees are pretty old. They've been around for a while.
Dude, trees in the forest. I mean, it's like grizzly bears are like wiping
on them
their
all the time.
ass on them, and like,
dude, it's going back to the Chris Rock joke. It's like there's no bully, it's
right?
Not even necessarily bully. It's just like you're making these trees too soft.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like they're gonna have they'll snap in a minute.
Yeah, dude, totally. Yeah, can you imagine a California redwood being like, I hope your chihuahua doesn't tinkle on me. It's going to upset my roots. Are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah, it's like, dude, I'm thousands of years old.
Yeah.
I'm good.
Dude, unbelievable. So that was my also it's funny that it's like, because it's like people that grow up in cities are often like, no, I'm fucking hard, dude. I'm from Brooklyn, dude, but trees are like.
That's a nice observation too, because I've seen those. I've seen them in your neighborhood.
Oh yeah, it's all over. Yeah,
I feel like I might see them here too, but like, I'm with you.
Pisses me off.
Yeah, I don't like it.
Do you have any miscellaneous thoughts? Any closing remarks?
I don't think so. I think I'm good.
All right, sweet. Yeah, I think we nailed it.
Nothing. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, I think we fucking killed it, dude. We've been recording for 2 hours and 20 minutes. So
damn.
Yeah,
we did it. All right.
All right. Well, Charles, hello, dear.
Hello, dear.
Hello, dear. Kind thanks for listening to our splendid podcast and bequeathing your attention to our lucrative enterprise. If you enjoyed what you heard, please do the needful and transmit the relevant information to all of your personal and professional contacts as soon as possible. or I shall be forced to unfold your private banking details to all interested parties. Don't hesitate to contact us if you have any questions or concerns. Wishing you many miracles and luxuries. Hello, dear.